Alex, te entiendo perfectamente, pero creo que Silvia es súper adulta para decirte, oye, me ha molestado esto o me ha molestado la otra cosa. Que no creo que sea el caso, porque Silvia siempre ha estado en el grupo en plan, yo estoy ahí para ayudar a buscar vuelos, o no creo que vaya a ir. O sea, es que Silvia desde el principio, yo recuerdo que ella dijo, tipo, que no creo que vaya a ir, pero meterme en el grupo porque tengo FOMO. Me acuerdo que era así. Así que si es el caso, tía, que te lo hubiese dicho. Además, tampoco ella ha dicho nada de hacer nada, ¿sabes? O sea, que no te preocupes. Después, yo creo que Silvia debe estar ahora en su mundo y no debe ser nada que se relaciona a tu, si no, yo creo que te hubiese enviado un mensaje y te hubiese dicho, oye, o no quiero hablar, bueno, no quiero hablar, no, pero en plan, oye, tía, es que estoy un poco mal, o lo que sea, no sé, es que no me pega nada para que si hubiera molestado nada de esto. Pero entiendo cómo te puedes sentir porque como que te paranoias, ¿no? Y es que soy igual. Y para mañana, si quieres, no hace falta que estés a las 5:30, así nos va bien a todas y tú decías que a partir de las 6:30 te iba a bien quedar. Yo a las 5:30 voy a casa de mi abuela, le doy la clase de repaso y después quedamos y tomamos algo si quieres, o sea, a mí ningún problema.
Good afternoon, Mallorca fans. Welcome to Play Red Live. We are now just an hour away from the last 8th final round of the King's Cup between Real Mallorca and Real Sociedad. So on your screens, the Mallorca team arrived in the stadium. We can see a smiling Rajkovic there with Jaume Costa. Nastasic strolling across your screens now too. He had been having some pain. We'll see whether he is fit for today. Martin Valgent in deep concentration, and Dominic Grief too. Nicknamed the Calm Man. The midfielder Rodrigo Battaglia, Javieres and Leo Roman. And Tino Callaware and Amath Ndiaye. Pablo Maffeo, just saying hello to the camera there. Gio Gonzalez Kanginley. We know that he's going to be in the starting lineup. Javier Aguirre told at the press conference yesterday. Clement Grenier there. And the last one, as usual, the lucky goal scorer who hopefully will have some minutes of protagonism today, Michael Rodriguez. So less than an hour away from kickoff, where Mallorca is going to be battling to classify in the quarterfinals. So they're in a really good situation right now. So is Real Sociedad, though, too. They beat Futbol recently. They're on 35 points at the moment. And they're definitely one of the ones to watch in the league, as Javier Aguirre has been saying. And I think we can go to the Real Arena already, where our colleague Dani Jacoba is there ready and waiting. Yes, good evening to everybody. We are live from Real Arena. Good atmosphere, good music already. And just as I move out of the way, it is raining. It's not particularly heavy right now, but it has been raining pretty heavily up until a couple of minutes ago. So tough day on the weather front, as it has been in many parts of Spain. When we arrived here this morning, that was some tough weather too. We'll talk about that later, but we did land. That's the important thing. Up here in Real Arena to enjoy what we hope is a very exciting King's Cup match. And things are getting serious because to win here, that would mean we're going to be going into the quarterfinals. So we do have the right to dream, of course. And Mallorca have definitely earned it this season. They're calm at the moment in the league, and they're dreaming about King's Cup glory. But as we know, it's a complicated match today. I would even say that they are the fittest looking team in the league at the moment. I mean, obviously everything is arguable. They're third in the league at the moment. And that derby against Atletico Bilbao showed a lot of power from the team. And they are the favourites on paper, of course, Algo team. But just one match, King's Cup match, and Mallorca have already demonstrated that they always rise up to their opponents wherever they're playing. So we never know what can happen. So rainy day here. We'll see what the weather does throughout the match and as in the build-up too. So perfect conditions on the grass, of course. It really is a luxury stadium. Cómo se desarrolla el partido. No sé, Victoria, si quieres ya que te cuente el 11 o no quieres que te lo cuente. So, shall we bring in the starting lineup or not yet? Yeah, I was just thinking whether it's a good time for the big reveal from that Javier Aguirre has told us. He told us in the press conference yesterday there would be that Kangin Lee and Dominic Grief would be on the pitch. So tell us the missing pieces. Yes, so the two players you just mentioned, as of course Javier Aguirre had already given away, they are in the starting lineup. So we're going to have Dominic Grief as the goalkeeper today. And then same system as usual, line of 5 in defence with Brian Cufre on the left wing, Gio Gonzalez on the right wing. 3 defenders in the centre, Copete, Martin Valgin and Pep Gaya, which is the big novelty, who is going to be enjoying his minutes in the King's Cup today. Excellent opportunity for him, of course, to gain some minutes and to keep enjoying what it is to wear the first team's kit. Midfield today is for Rodrigo Battaglia. Next to him, Antonio Sanchez. And then the 3 strikers, Kangin Lee, who is sanctioned from the next league match, Ángel Rodriguez, and then a man who knows what it is to score in a King's Cup match, Tino Cadewere. So this is who Javier Aguirre is putting his money on to face up to Real Sociedad in tonight's match. And we're going to be hearing from the assistant coach, Tony Amor, very soon to see what he thinks about the match that we can expect today in this Real Arena Stadium.
Para ver este partido vía San Sebastián con escala en Barcelona, por algunos de sus vuelos han tenido que volver, no han podido aterrizar, así que los valientes que han podido venir y que estaban en el vuelo esta mañana, que nos han acompañado a nosotros hasta aquí y que en redes sociales también les hemos visto, van a estar también en este partido, algunos en la grada visitante, otros repartidos por el campo, ya digo, no van a ser muchos porque es complicado entre semana, pero sí que va a haber, como siempre...
So of course there will be some Mallorca fans in the stadium today, as usual. We love to see that. So we can see Luis de Galarreta's shirt in the changing rooms, all on your screens.
Ultimando ese proceso de recuperación y bueno, pues cruzando los dedos, ¿no? De que pueda estar el viernes ante el Celta de Vigo. Ahí tenemos a Ruiz de Galarreta, es ahora mismo el único jugador que está sobre el césped, todavía no han salido.
Only player that is on the pitch at the moment, not even the goalkeepers.
Aquí sobre el verde con la camiseta del Real Mallorca, bueno, pues un pequeño contratiempo en los últimos días y nada, pues con ganas de que
It's Galarreta, who has obviously had that setback with that pain that he's had in the last couple of days, but we'll hope that it stays at nothing more than that.
Me temo que será muy justo, pero bueno, ya sabemos que a veces una molestia muscular es cuestión de días. Y el que tampoco he visto que ha llegado, porque en un primer momento apuntaba al 11, es Nastasic, porque dijo que Nastasic...
So also Nastasic is also not going to be in the starting lineup because he was pointed to be so, but it appears that at the end he's not fit enough to be back in the team.
Sí, efectivamente, ¿no? Esa es la decisión, ¿no? Que se ha tomado, ¿no? Pues como decía también, pues el míster, la verdad es que muchos partidos.
Yes, of course. At the end of the day, it's all about decisions.
Un contratiempo, ¿no? Estas características con algún jugador que muchas veces, pues es una tontería, pero claro, si tienes 3 partidos en 7 días, pues si en condiciones normales a lo mejor...
You know, sometimes when you've got 3 matches in 7 days, you know, if you not wanting to miss any matches, you may then do a bad movement and you may end up missing all 3. So, of course, it's all about putting on who's fitter and who's in a more adequate situation each time.
Y precisamente ese es otro de los motivos, ¿no? Por los que queremos seguir en Copa del Rey, seguir ilusionándonos para que todo este equipo pues pueda también tener sus oportunidades, pueda tener todo el mundo sus minutos y se pueda seguir disfrutando de una competición que es muy bonita. Bueno, poquito a poco va entrando gente aquí en el Real Arena.
So people starting to take their seats in Real Arena, of course, early days, so the stadium is pretty empty at the moment.
Para que arranque este partido, que lo va a hacer a las 7 de la tarde. Y por cierto, también os cuento que hoy sí que va a haber VAR, sí que va a haber arbitraje, porque he visto ahí la camarita ya preparada para esta eliminatoria de
There is going to be VAR now at this point of the King's Cup, because I can see how it's all set up here.
Así que bueno, es otro de los factores que hay que tener en cuenta. Ya en este partido pues ya entra en acción el videoarbitraje, y como digo, pues que no tengamos que tirar de él, pero bueno, que en caso de necesidad pues ahí va a estar. Sigamos viendo ahí a Ruiz de Galarreta, que gana en edad.
We can still see Ruiz de Galarreta on your screens at the moment. Of course, it is visibility not great because obviously it is raining, which of course affects our camera angles. So the last Real Sociedad match that gave them their place in this points in the King's Cup was a narrow 1-0 win. It came in the 33rd minute by the foot of Robert Navarro. In this case, they were up against Logroñés, several categories below Real Sociedad. And as you can see, we never know in these kind of matches. It can be very, very close. And it was the sole goal that ended up putting them through to the next round.
Como decías, ¿no? Pues ese único tanto le valió a la Real Sociedad, ¿no? Ahí estaba el gol. Ahí lo estamos viendo.
So yes, one goal was enough for them that time.
Un buen gol, la verdad. Ahí estaba Navarro, que bueno, pues va a ser titular también en el día de hoy. Luego también te cuento, como digo, el 11 de...
And Navarro, incidentally, will also be on the starting lineup today.
Jugadores de muchísimo nivel. También de manera paralela estáis viendo ya calentando a los porteros del Real Mallorca con ese primer plano.
So we're also watching the Mallorca goalkeepers warming up.
En el día de hoy, ahí estamos viendo mientras tanto otra ocasión de Yarnamendi, un futbolista que evidentemente pues tiene menos protagonismo, ¿no? en la liga, jugador ya veterano.
Mendy there, who has less protagonism in the league now. However, he's got a huge history of being a big part of the King's Cup, and he's not in the starting lineup either. So we are going to go to a very short ad break for you so that we can bring you Tony Amor's words very, very soon, as well as all the other news before this match today at 7. See you then.
aerolínea española con la que vuelan cada año más de 10 millones de pasajeros a más de 50 destinos en todo el mundo. Disfruta de la unión entre tecnología y confort que ofrecemos en nuestra renovada flota de aviones. Nos gustará verte pronto, muy pronto. Air Europa, cada detalle cuenta.
Grupo Escribano. Somos especialistas en reformas y fachadas. Financia ahora al 100% y paga en 12 meses sin intereses. Para importes desde 200 euros hasta 200.000 euros. 0% TAE. Grupo Escribano.
De vuelta ya en Play Red Light, sobre imagen veis a Dominic Grief, que finalmente será el portero elegido, como ya lo decía ayer, para el Mallorca, para este partido.
So back live, Dominic Grief on your screens, who is going to be the goalkeeper today in this Kings Cup match. And we can go over to the stadium where Daniel is with Tony Amor, the assistant coach. So we seem to be experiencing some sound problems.
Real Mallorca, nos hemos venido aquí para recordarnos un poquito de la lluvia porque ya va a estar Tony lo que nos vamos a mojar durante el partido. ¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes.
So yes, we are here sheltering from the rain. Good afternoon to you. Kings Cup match today. Last 8.
¿Qué sensaciones tiene el cuerpo técnico antes de este partido difícil y importante a la vez?
So how are you feeling against this tough match today? So there's lots of very continuous matches at the moment. The rival today is enormous. They're going to make things really difficult for us, but we're going to go out there and we're going to fight as we have until now.
Cuando nos metamos en Copa a un rival que tenemos en la Liga, si se mira el partido de Liga, si no tiene nada que ver, hay similitudes. No sé.
So, do we compare it to the last league match? No, of course there are similar things. You know, they've put in the same team as they put on the last league match. We're making lots of changes actually, because we think it's really important to have everybody involved. And I think that we've put on the most competitive lineup possible. But I think it's going to be the fittest lineup.
Y donde te podían sorprender, pues ya no te sorprenden, y igual que tú cuando puedes sorprender, pues ya es menos sorpresa cuando ya se lo has hecho a ese rival.
And of course, I mean, this way also we could give them a surprise. Of course, that's the whole point, you know, going facing up to the rival at Real Sociedad and definitely and going up to their level. Of course, it's going to be a tough match in an away stadium, but it's 90 minutes. We've got to go up there, we've got to take a step forward and show them that we can win the match.
¿Cómo han ido estos días? Evidentemente entrenando fuera de casa, con mucho frío. Bueno, la verdad es que el tiempo en el norte aquí está siendo tremendo.
Sí, la verdad es que es una semana complicada.
The temperature here in the north is pretty heavy right now. Yeah, it's tough because we know obviously we needed some fresh players for today, of course. We need fresh players on Friday for the same reason, you know. Because, you know, having a match every 72 hours is madness. But we're well rested, and we're just excited for the match now. It would be amazing to get through to the quarterfinal, right? Yeah, of course, we love this championship. They've been competing very well. It's not an easy thing. You know, we would have loved to be in this situation in the Kings Cup and in the league at the beginning of the season. You know, we would have been really happy with that. And we're good to go try. Why not go through to the next round? So thank you very much to Tony Amor there for his words before this match kicking off in less than 40 minutes. Yes, thanks, Danny, for that interview there with Tony Amor. Very interesting, always listening to Aguirre's right-hand man.
que realmente el Mallorca lo afronta con muchas rotaciones, como hemos visto frente al Irún, frente al Autol, frente a...
So lots of different lineups as we've been seeing throughout the King's Cup. And today, of course, we're up against the team that is currently on the third position on the league table. They've won 11 matches, they've lost 2 and they've drawn 4. And of those 4, they've only it's only been 2 at home against Barcelona and against Betis. So it's going to be a really tough match ahead. However, it's 90 minutes, as Javier Aguirre was saying. It's always exciting. And they're also going to be able to meet again with an ex-Mallorca player, Take Kubo. He did score the second goal in the last match, which obviously brought delight from the fans in the stadium. And even though he's not in the starting lineup today, I'm sure we'll be able to see him on the pitch for a certain amount of time. For that Takekubo versus Kang In Lee battle, which I'm sure all Mallorca fans will be delighted with. So we could see the goalkeepers there warming up on the pitch. Dominic Grief, who is the chosen one for today. Javier Aguirre was saying he was nicknamed Calm Man in the last King's Cup match, and I love that one. And I think it's the perfect definition for him. Exactly that, and he's also going to be the cold man today as well as the calm man with this temperature and how wet he's going to be. But yeah, of course, there's many factors that allow us to call him like that. But especially in the King's Cup, he keeps being brought on as the starting goalkeeper, and he's really high level. And there we go, the Mallorca players are on the pitch now, 6 p.m. Martin Valgent was the first player to get his feet on the grass. The other players as well, taking advantage of these couple of minutes to get a feel of the pitch too. And 35 minutes now till kickoff.
Ahí están los hombres de Javier Aguirre calentando, recordemos, ¿no? Ese 11 del equipo de Aguirre, os cuento también si queréis en un momento el 11 de Imanol Alguacil. Grey va a estar en la portería con esa defensa de 5 con Cufré en el lateral izquierdo, con Gio en el lateral diestro, con Copete, con Martín.
Just to remind you of that starting lineup with the defenders we mentioned earlier, with Bataglia, Antonio Sanchez in the midfield, and striking today, Ángel Rodríguez, Tino Kadewere, and Kang In Lee. Of course, another player incredibly eager to show what he can do in this kind of platform.
Ilusiona también reencontrarnos con Take Kubo, ¿no? Un hombre al que queremos mucho, 2 temporadas en primera con el Real Mallorca. Y hoy, pues bueno, se va a reencontrar, ¿no?
And of course, as we were saying, it's always a real pleasure for us to reunite with Take Kubo, a player, of course, who has given so much to this club. The arrival didn't coincide of the team with Mallorca's to the stadium. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to see those images we all covered of the players speaking to their colleagues.
Esa tradición sale al césped, pero rápidamente han vuelto a entrar y Take ni ha aparecido por el césped, porque ya digo que no estaba la cosa como para hacerse muchas fotografías o charlar mucho tiempo. Pero bueno, seguro que hay en el túnel y entre bastidores pues se podrán saludar, y si no después en el césped.
But I'm sure that those chats are not far away.
Este hombre que está de espaldas, ahora Carlos nos va a enfocar y ahora se gira. ¿Quién es este hombre tan tapado? Es Vedat Murici. Ahí lo tienes, Victoria. Fíjate cómo.
And this very, very, very covered up and very well wrapped up figure is Vedat Murici, who is definitely feeling the cold today.
porque ya sabes que yo soy lo más friolero que hay.
Yes, if Marishi is that covered up, I can't even imagine how I would be there, because I am always cold, and he just looks like a member of the technical team there, so wrapped up.
De ninguna manera porque no vuelves, o sea,
No
vamos,
vuelvo.
te nos pones de baja 2 o 3 meses y ya no.
Yeah, we couldn't bring you to the stadium because you'd definitely be going on the sick, and then you wouldn't be able to finish the season.
Pero bueno, no pasa nada, ya digo que el césped está muy bien. Este estadio pues se nota que ha tenido una buena arquitecta también ahí haciendo la remodelación.
But yes, you can tell that the architects were very good in this stadium, though it is pretty well insulated.
Todavía no ha salido la Real Sociedad a calentar, ya sabemos que pues viene siendo habitual, ¿no? Que el Mallorca siempre le gusta, ¿no? Con Paul Lorente salir prontito al césped, y bueno, la Real que todavía no lo ha hecho y que imaginamos que lo hará de un momento a otro.
Te quería hacer un apunte, Dani, porque yo sé que tú vas a estar en la cabina arriba durante el partido y parece ser que 3 jugadores del Mallorca han decidido ir al mismo peluquero a hacerse el mismo peinado. Tienes a Copete, a Brian Cufré y a Gaya.
So at the moment we've got Copete, Cufré and Gaya. From behind look absolutely the same. They've clearly all gone to the same hairdressers, and throughout this warm-up I've already mixed them up several times. They've got exactly the same haircut right now.
Pero bueno, no pasa nada, que yo creo que más o menos les vamos a reconocer. Por cierto, te corrijo, dices que voy a estar en cabina como si hubiera estar ahí en un sitio con
However, you were saying that I was going to be in the commentating box, as if I was going to be there very cozy and with the heating. Well, I'm not. I am going to be wrapped up, of course, but we're going to be outside, which of course is very nice to have the atmosphere, but it's going to be a chilly one for sure.
Donde me gusta verlo también todo también, y a la espera, ¿no?, de que salga la Real Sociedad.
Vale, pues mientras tú vas cogiendo posiciones, Dani, nosotros vamos a ir abriendo boca también con el último partido de Copa del Mallorca, un partido que se tuvo que ir a prórroga, recordemos, pero que...
So we're going to look at the last Kings Cup match now for Mallorca now, where we had to go to extra time, but at the end of the day, we ended up with that 2-0 victory eventually. This is that summary there from Pontevedra, with some young fans absolutely ecstatic about receiving this pitch, this kind of team to their pitch and stadium. So it was a tough one for our team. We know that.
Varias ocasiones tuvieron ambos conjuntos, pero como decimos, se tuvo que ir al tiempo extra para que se decidiera quién se llevaba ese pase a los octavos, iba a decir cuartos. Cuartos es lo que queremos hoy, ese pase a cuartos. Ahora también vemos en doble ventana esa piña a la que estamos acostumbrados de los jugadores del Real Mallorca. Y ahí vemos esa primera gran ocasión que tuvo el Pontevedra.
So we can see that first chance there that came from Pontevedra, but the great Dominic Grief was able to save that, no problems.
Ahí se quejaba el Mallorca de una posible mano dentro del área pequeña.
Complaints from Mallorca for handball for one of the defenders from Pontevedra. But the linesman in that case did not seem to see a handball. Of course, today would be different as we do have VAR involved. Then that foul there of Clement Grenier, and that action from the Pontevedra goalkeeper, that was really showed a lot of star quality. Excellent opportunity for Abdon there. See frustration there from our demon of Arda. So both Marie and Abdon eventually did, of course, bring us those goals that gave us that pass into the next round. And there we go, that is the extra time. And Marishi there leaving that goal free for Abdon Prats.
porque solo tuvo que empujarla y celebrar ese
And Abdon
0-1
Prats
que
only
le
needed
daba
to
una
just push it into the goal
clasificación
there
al Mallorca
and
y
celebrate
segura
that
alegría para
1-0
toda la afición,
point
tanto
to get them
desplazada como
through
la
to the
que
next
vivía desde
round.
sus casas. Y ahí llegaba el segundo tanto. Tuya mía, para Muriqui. Muriqui empuja, abrazo del Pirata, abrazo del Dimoni y esa clasificación que lograba el Mallorca en Pasarón hace apenas 10 días y que era obra, cómo no, del que tantas alegrías y goles épicos nos tiene acostumbrados, el Dimoni d'Artà. Y también, como no, del
And
Pirata,
then
del
that touch
Kosovar,
on the
que
ball
también
there
sabe lo que es
from
marcar goles y dar
Vedat
alegrías
Maurici
a la
and
afición
Abdon
de
Prats,
Mallorca.
two
Y bueno,
players that
eso
know
era
exactly what it
hace
is to keep
unas
giving us
semanas, pero hoy es una
extremely
película, es
happy
otra,
moments to the
enfrente
team.
un rival
But
que
today
va
is a
todo
different story.
frente
We're
en
up
la
against a
liga y
different
suma
rival today.
35
They
puntos
are
y
third
que se
in
lo
the
va a
league.
poner
They're on
muy
35
difícil al
points, and
Mallorca.
they're definitely
Recordar
going
que
to
en la
make
temporada
things
pasada el
very
Mallorca ya
hard
logró
for us
llegar a
today.
cuartos, pero cayó
Mallorca
frente al Rayo
already reached
Vallecano
the
por un gol por
quarterfinal
penalti que
last year when
precisamente
they
marcó
fell
Iván
against
Funes
Rayo
y luego más
Vallecano,
Óscar
which was
Trejo
also
en la primera
on a
instancia.
penalty
Tenemos enfrente a la
scored by
Real
Oscar
Sociedad
Trejo.
y en lo que lleva de historia esta competición ha habido 4 cruces de Copa del Rey entre la Real Sociedad y el Mallorca.
There
Y
have been
atento,
4
porque las
encounters in the
estadísticas
past in King's
son a
Cup
favor del
between
Mallorca.
Mallorca
De
and
esos
Real
4
Sociedad,
cruces, 3
and the previous
cayeron a
statistics are
favor
actually
del
in favour
Mallorca.
of
Ojalá
Mallorca. Out of those 4
estadísticas
matches,
sean una manera de
3
prever lo
were
que
won
podría
by
suceder
our
esta
team.
noche,
So
porque sin
hopefully
ninguna duda el gran
statistics
deseo de
will
toda la
out
afición
today
bermellona
as well,
sería clasificarse para esos cuartos de
because the
final
dream
y
of
poder
all
seguir
Mallorca
soñando
fans, of
con una
course, would
copa que el
be
Mallorca
to
tiene
get
en
through to
sus
the next
vitrinas
round.
y que ganó frente al Recreativo de Huelva en el estadio de Leche. Ahí vemos, sí, sobre imagen, ese entrenamiento, estamos viendo sobre la pantalla a los jugadores que hoy
So we can
esperan
see the
su debut.
training
Tenemos
session there
a
of the
Gio,
players that are
también
going to
tenemos
be on
ya a
in the
Tino
starting
Kadewere,
lineup
un
today.
jugador que llega en este momento para ser importante. Hemos visto muchos goles de él, tanto en amistosos como en Copa del Rey. Ha jugado contra
We
el
have
Futbol,
seen many
contra
Tino
el COPA,
Kadewere
también lo
goals
hizo
this
contra el
season,
Pontevedra, también
both
debutó
in
en
League
Liga.
and in the
Tuvo
King's
sus
Cup.
debutos contra el Getafe y también los tuvo el otro día frente al Valladolid, que fue el estreno, digamos, en el Estadio Mallorca Somos de Tino Kadewere, un jugador que llegó en el mercado de verano para sumar pólvora en el
In the
ataque del
Valladolid
Mallorca, pero
match
una
recently,
lesión
he
a
already
finales
had
de
his
septiembre lo
debut in
apartó
Son
del
Mosh,
grupo
of
de los
course, to the
entrenamientos,
delight of the
pero
Mallorca
Tino ya está de
fans.
vuelta, está completamente en forma y quién sabe si puede
And
ser el
Tino
dueño
is
que nos va a
fully
hacer
in now,
soñar
completely
esta
recovered
noche
and
en
completely ready.
en
And
este
maybe he
partido.
is going to be the one tonight to make us dream and allow us to get through to the next round. Only time will tell.
Veíamos ahora a Copete, a Valle, los que nos gusta llamar los gemelies, y no sé si mi compañero Dani Barjacova ya
We can
está
see Copete and
en cabina,
Valgent
porque
there on
luego sí
our
que me corrige
screens
y dice que no
too.
está en cabina con aire acondicionado, pero yo sé que más o menos, ¿eh? Hola Dani,
So
¿qué
we
tal?
can go back to Danny now, who's there already, wrapped up warm, even though he says he's outside, whatever, in his commentating box. Yes, so we are views for us. It is still raining. It doesn't look like it's going to cease anytime soon. As I was saying before, it is very wet, but it's hardly, torrential rain at the moment.
Del Real Mallorca, te decía antes, ¿no? Respecto al 11 de la Real Sociedad, en unos minutitos, ¿no? Ya podremos también analizar.
So as we were saying before, with regards to Real Sociedad's starting lineup,
En el día de hoy, pues el equipo de Manuel Alguacil, que va a salir con Remiro, ¿no? En la portería.
we've got Ramiro in goal for them.
Bajo palos, con Zubimendi, ¿no? En ese lateral
Zubimendi
izquierdo, con
on the left
Ayem
wing.
Muñoz también en
Ayem
el
Muñoz on the right
otro
wing.
carril. La verdad es que este es un lateral que a mí personalmente
Central
me gusta mucho.
defense.
Es un jugador joven, pero que la verdad es que también cuando jugó el partido, ¿no? La temporada pasada.
That right winger is a very young player, but in my opinion, very, very talented one.
Luego pues también va a estar Pacheco ahí en el centro de defensa.
Pacheco in the central defense.
Viene siendo habituales y bueno, después en el centro del
Roman.
campo, bueno, pues jugadores
And then
también
midfield
de
today,
muchísima clase, ¿no? De muchísimo nivel, de muchísimo
very high class
fútbol, como
players.
por ejemplo,
Merino,
como por ejemplo Gorosabel, bueno pues Bryce Méndez, ¿no?
Olosabel,
También va a estar más
and Bryce
arriba.
Mendez too.
Después, bueno, jugadores que
And then striking, of course, really high level. Olazábal, wearing the number 10, the King's armband.
Viene demostrando, ¿no?, que es un buen sustituto también de Isaac, futbolista que fue traspasado, ya sabéis, el pasado verano. Y bueno, yo creo que no me he dejado a nadie, ¿no? Efectivamente, pues ahí están los 11 jugadores de la Real Sociedad. Sí, dime.
Lo que me sorprende es que el otro día en el derbi que hubo entre la Real Sociedad y el Bilbao.
So what I am surprised about is that in the derby between Betis and Real Sociedad, they changed up Sorloth because of his right knee. In fact, the press that followed this, Sorloth's had 7 goals recently, so he's really, on form. And everybody went from being very worried about his knee to come back in, and then suddenly he's in the starting lineup. Yes, I mean, let's just smile and wave and grin and bear it, I guess. Football has these kind of things. I mean, we didn't expect him to be so fit again and so quickly. But of course, if he wasn't 100% fit, I'm sure that he wouldn't be in the starting lineup. But we know that when a striker is on form, all we can do is try and put the brakes on that successful period. But of course, he will have to face up today to rivals such as COPA or Valgent, Gaia also. So it's not going to be easy for him at all. However, excellent players on the bench as well. Of course, Takekubo, Silva even, who regardless of his age still has an amazing left foot. Zubilia also, Carlos Fernandez, the striker, Moncho. So very, very high-class players. Of course, we have players like Rodriguez, Grenier, Abdon, Amathine Diaye, Vedat Marishi, many players that we know are excellent and have a very high level as well. And we are seeing Kang In Lee on your screens right now. Of course, in the last match, I couldn't quite believe that yellow card that he received. There was lots of talk about that, which means, of course, that he will be off for the next league match. But Javier Aguirre, even though he's a staunch defender of VAR, is that he did mention, though, that it was quite unnerving to see how those yellow cards for apparently wasting time were brought out against Kang In Lee so early on in the match. It was barely even halfway through the first half. It wasn't in the 85th minute. Yes, and also it's a very controversial card because we couldn't see how he was actually showing it to Kang In Lee. Because in fact, you can't even see Kang In Lee react to that. I don't think he was even aware at that moment that the yellow card has actually been given to him. However, of course, we trust the referee's criteria, of course. But yes, it was unusual. That was precisely then the first yellow card of the match.
ese momento no buscaba segundas intenciones.
And of course, if it does come right at the end of extra time, for example, you can understand that because of that cheeky side of it. But it is true that was came pretty early on in the match, so he wasn't deliberately wasting that much time. And yes, once again, going back to those haircuts, they are pretty incredible how similar they all are.
En Liga, y me acuerdo que incluso a mí me costó diferenciar a un par que no tenían el mismo peinado, imagínate, con el mismo peinado, sobre todo el duelo Copete-Gallá, porque claro, Cufré está más en una banda.
Sí, pero bueno, yo te digo, que es verdad que los tenía, ves, ahí vemos a Gallá, y le voy a matar a Gallá, que se haya hecho este peinado y que me complique la vida.
Yes, I can see Gallá there. I will definitely be having a word with him and giving him a round of applause for doing that haircut as well.
Desde aquí arriba a ver si veía un poquito, sabes que me gusta buscar a mis amigos mallorquinistas, ¿no? A ver dónde están.
So I was just looking up to see if I could see my Mallorcan friends, because we always like to know where the support is in the stadium.
Para ti cada día es domingo, pero es que hoy es martes y no sé, estoy buscando aquí, no sé dónde las habrán metido a mis amigos mallorquinistas, pero bueno, luego los ubico porque esto no es como Pamplona, donde todos iban de rojillo, aquí iban de azul, así que
So here is story, but it's not like in Pamplona, in the last match against Osasuna, where everybody was wearing red. Obviously, the Real Sociedad colours are blue, so I'm sure we will be able to distinguish them more easily.
No, tranquila, no te voy a contar nada, pero es que la verdad es que ha sido un susto tremendo esta mañana cuando...
But yes, on the plane this morning, it was quite the scare. I went to bed last night saying, I think the wind's going to have died down by tomorrow when we fly, but it really didn't, as the weather warnings had said. And with all our sound guys and our camera guys, it definitely was a bit of a scary flight. And as we approached the north of Spain on the plane, I did think, this is all right, not too bad.
No estaba en el vuelo porque estaba ahí aquí, pero bueno, estábamos gente también de la cúpula del club, ¿no? Y la verdad es que cuando nos hemos ido acercando a Bilbao, ahí la cosa ya se empezó a poner movidita y ya parecía que estábamos en el RAM, ¿sabes?
But as we were approaching Bilbao, it really did start looking like it was a fairground ride. And one of our team did, that you could hear the sighs, you could hear the huffing, puffing. And yes, nobody was speaking at that moment. The tension was definitely, you could feel it. And as then we initiated the descent, and then we went straight back up because there was a big gust of wind.
Pero si el piloto no lo ve claro, que no aterrice, y no lo ha visto claro, no ha aterrizado. Luego sí que hemos vuelto y ya ha podido aterrizar, bueno, dando bandazos y tal.
But then we were finally able to land afterwards.
O sea, el gol de Antón en el 94, pues ha sido así.
Es que ha habido aplausos, ¿no? Eso es lo que me interesa a mí. Cuando aterriza
a mí me da mucha rabia los aplausos al final.
Es que me da mucha rabia.
But as any person would, I do hate the applause at the end of a flight as well.
Muchos vuelos y se han tenido que desviar y no han podido aterrizar, así que bueno, igual yo lo decía antes, ya sin más que a lo mejor algún mallorquinista que también venía por otras vías, pues se ha quedado finalmente en tierra. Bueno, se retira ya la...
But of course, apologies and condolences to anybody who had their flight today and it got cancelled because of the weather, because that was of course another possibility. So live images on your screen of how the Mallorca players are still on the pitch.
Que estén el máximo tiempo posible ahí calentando, que no se enfríe nadie, porque la verdad es que hoy es un día para salir enchufado, no dejarse llevar un poquito por el frío, ¿no? Que te puede tener ahí los primeros minutos un poco.
And of course today the weather and the cold will definitely affect the match in some shape or form.
Aprovecha también para chutar un balón a portería, ahora lo vuelve a hacer con Leo Román, que está ahora mismo bajo palos, y ahora sí, se retiran ya 1-1 los jugadores. Veo a Bataglia, veo a Antonio Sánchez, también Gio.
We can see Bataglia, we can see Antonio Sanchez, Cufré. Slowly but surely, everybody leaving the grass now. Kangin Lee, one of the last players to leave the pitch now from his warm-up.
Victoria, tranquila, que te veo preocupada. Ya entrarán durante el partido, no te preocupes. Mira, 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 uf. Ahí está, como me gustan estos disparos de Kangin Lee.
But we love to see the kind of shots from Kangin Lee.
También es verdad.
But of course, even if some of them are not going in, then that doesn't matter, because what counts is for them to go in throughout the match. So we are going to go to a short break, and then we'll be back right for kickoff time. So everybody go and grab something quick to drink and get ready for kickoff at 7 p.m. for this match between Real Sociedad and Mallorca in the Real Arena Stadium. I'll be back with all the news and all the action very, very soon. It is going to be refereed by Hernandez, the Canarian referee, with Parfarov on as a linesman. There is VAR today, just to remind you of that, with Gonzalez and Muñiz Ruiz. So quick break before kickoff, and we'll be back with you very, very soon.
Grupo Escribano. Somos especialistas en reformas y fachadas. Financia ahora al 100% y paga en 12 meses sin intereses. Para importes desde 200 euros hasta 200.000 euros. 0% TAE. Grupo Escribano.
Disfruta de la unión entre tecnología y confort que ofrecemos en nuestra renovada flota de aviones. Nos gustará verte pronto, muy pronto. En Europa, cada detalle cuenta.
El temps que ens ha tocat viure és la meva vida. I ara sé com la vull viure.
Y ya estamos de vuelta en Play Red Live a 7 minutos de que arranque este partido de octavos de final de
So
la
we
Copa del
are
Rey
back
entre la
7
Real
minutes
Sociedad
away
y el
from
Real
kickoff
Mallorca.
now.
Y ahora sí que ya me acompaña nuestro comentarista habitual en
And now
Copa
I
del
am
Rey.
now
Quiere
in the
decir que nos ha ido
company of
suerte.
our King's
Esperemos que hoy
Cup
no sea
commentator
diferente,
who's
nos
given
vamos
us luck
arriba.
so
Chisco
far.
Campos,
Què tal, com estem?
buenas tardes.
Bones tardes.
Chisco
Bones tardes.
Buenas
Campos,
tardes.
good evening to
Sensaciones,
you.
pálpitos.
Bé, sensacions. Tots som conscients de que m'ha tocat un rival que no és fàcil, un rival que té molts bons jugadors, que té una manera
Of course,
de
we're all
jugar
aware of
que
the
no perd
fact
molt
that
de
we have
temps,
been
que
handed
jugadors
a
que
tough
són de
rival.
molts i d'altres que tenen moltíssima qualitat i fan una mescla molt bona perquè tenen un model de joc que el tenen molt per mà i sabem que és un rival difícil, però
And we know it's going to be a tough rival.
contra qualsevol i en el final és una competició de cau i pot passar qualsevol cosa.
¿Qué te parece la
But we know it's a
alineación de
knockout
Rodilla
championship.
para este partido y bueno, y también la de Imanol Alguacil?
Bé, en el final jo crec que els dos entrenadors tenint en compte perquè al final tots molt jugant
I think that both coaches, taking into account that it's King's Cup and both teams want to get through,
una alineació lo més competitiva tenint en compte que
they've tried to make the most competitive lineup as possible, considering there's so many matches in 1 week. Both teams have a really wide, extensive lineup. They can do many changes. I think Aguirre for speed today, to give minutes to Tino as well.
que no ha tingut tots els minuts que voldríem per la lesió.
I think because of his injury, he hasn't had as many minutes as we would have liked him to so far. And I think there are 11 players that, Javier Aguirre has gone for speed, especially.
Encara que és un equip que intenta ser associatiu, també té verticalitat, Oyarzábal, que també és un jugador que fa poc que va sortir d'una lesió, també li anirà bé aquests minuts.
Oyarzábal for Real Sociedad has recently had an injury too, so he will be delighted to have some minutes as well. And I think we can really attack their spaces very well. I think it will be balanced, similar to the one that we saw in the league, and hopefully it falls to our favor. So over to our colleague Danny in the stadium. Danny and Chisco are from a Mallorcan village called Bin Salem. So yes, good evening to you. You look very well, so that makes me. I'm happy about that because of the weather we've had today. So Anoeta, and today Real Arena. Not many people in the stadium at the moment. I mean, at the end of the day, it is 7 p.m. on a working day, of course. Of course, it's not going to be the one of those big league match atmospheres. But of course, despite it being a King's Cup, we imagine that light show will be happening too. Same as the one we saw in Somos the other day, which of course is very impressive. It really is amazing, especially when you play at night. It's a very intense thing. I think everybody immensely enjoyed it. And I'm still curious about how in the 35th minute, everybody suddenly put their flashes on their phones. But I think the players are going to be coming onto the pitch in just a couple of moments.
estuvimos allí, es acristalado, que es precioso, veíamos a Babá.
I was going to say that we've got an image of the tunnel, but we know that it's not actually a tunnel because the facilities in this stadium are absolutely amazing, and there's a whole portion of the stadium dedicated to that.
Pues sí, la verdad es que sí, en este momento que salen ya los protagonistas aquí al terreno de juego, el Mallorca que lo hace con su indumentaria
The players are
habitual, su
coming
primera
onto the pitch in
equipación.
their first kit.
El capitán del equipo en el día de hoy que lo hace en primera
Martin Valgent, captain for the team today.
en ese caso con esas sudaderas, ¿no?
Real Sociedad, of course, also making their way onto the pitch.
En estos prolegómenos del partido, bufandas aquí al aire y no han hecho, decepción victoria, no han hecho el juego de luces. Yo he venido aquí también para verlo, pero no ha podido ser ahí.
Both teams in their first kit. However, disappointingly, not the light show today. That embrace there between Javier Aguirre and Manolo Alguacil.
Escuchen el ambiente, que a pesar de que no esté ni mucho menos lleno, pues aquí siempre hay muy buen ambiente, muy bonito también ambiente de fútbol en el estadio de Anoeta.
And despite it not being full, a very beautiful atmosphere here in the Anoeta Stadium. So the end of that chant there, Oyarzabal and Martin Valgent greet each other, the two captains for today's match. Coin toss now. Let's see who is going to have the first touch on the ball.
Los jugadores del Mallorca que ya están esperando la piña, va a haber cambio de campo, por cierto. Y ahora Martin Valgent que pues se acerca, ¿no?, ante sus compañeros y les dice
Martin Valgent
en el otro campo, que es donde vamos a
team and tells them to change sides and do their group hug before the start of the match. So Mallorca starting on the right-hand side of the cameras, Real Sociedad on the left.
Real Sociedad por la megafonía del estadio. El equipo donostiarra que va a arrancar el partido porque está ya Sorlot al lado de la pelota para ponerla en movimiento, pero evidentemente va a tener que
Sorlot is next to the ball, ready to put it into movement.
En este mismo instante. Y bueno, pues decíamos el 11 de la Real con jugadores también importantes. Grave que ya se va hacia su meta, hacia su portería. Tino Cadewer que aprovecha también
So Grave moving towards his goal now.
En la línea de cal en el centro del campo.
Angel ready in the midfield mark.
Preparado para ponerla atrás. Bien para Navarro. O bien para Merino. Arranca el partido. Primer balón por tanto.
And there we go. That is the starting whistle.
En línea defensiva. Tocando para su compañero, para Pacheco. Normand de nuevo. Con Pacheco que la va a poner a la frontal del área. La deja pasar.
So Pacheco bring the ball up towards the front of the pitch.
Primer saque de puerta del partido para el Real Mallorca en estos primeros compases. Javier Aguirre que ya está, ya le veis completamente de pie. Además, Victoria tiene un área técnica bien grande, aquí para puede correr, se puede cansar, puede hacer kilómetros en esa área técnica que le han puesto.
La verdad es que sí, además que estuvimos ahí hace unos meses, la recuerdo perfectamente. De hecho, fue creo que de los campos que he estado a pie de campo que más me impresionó. Pero con el frío que hace yo creo que se va a mover bastante, porque estar quieto tendrá más frío. Así que yo creo que veremos a un Javier Aguirre bastante activo hoy.
I think today, especially because of the cold, we expect to see a very active Javier Aguirre.
Pita el colegiado, la provocó bien Navarro. Vemos que marcó el tanto, ¿no?, que clasificó al equipo para esta ronda de octavos de final. Primer minuto de partido. Parecía que Oyarzabal podía ir al golpeo, pero
So Oyarzabal today, of course, we can expect him to go all out for the on the shot at goal. Mallorca now defending at the top of the pitch, except the strikers. And there comes the free kick. Bryce Mendez is going to take it. Left-footed shot. Hits a second post, rebound, and into a corner. That was the first dangerous shot for Real Sociedad.
En la estrategia y bueno, pues el primer saque de esquina para ellos, muy atentos en las marcas, que no haya ningún desajuste. Y vamos a ver ese córner, ahí está, pierna izquierda buscando el segundo palo.
So we're going to see this corner now, looks for the second post, rebounded over the crossbar. And that's the second opportunity there for Real Sociedad, a very clear one too. So it's a strong start from them.
Tenen bons llançadors i bons rematadors i han tingut just una falta i seguit un córner i això fa que si ells ja tenien la intenció de començar bé, que estan a casa, doncs si tirin encara més, no?
Vamos a ver si la puede bajar Ángel, también presionado por aquí Tino, se la lleva Yen Muñoz por esta parte.
Ángel with pressure on by Tino.
Esto va a ser saque de banda.
And it's going to be a throw-in now. Very close to the corner flag for Mallorca. Of course, Javier Aguirre's team could build their first move and start to journey towards the opposing goal, where Ramiro is defending.
La pelota Gorosabel, que la toca en cortito para Bryce.
Gorosabel passes backward to Bryce. Over to Lenormand, who gains many meters. You have to be careful now. It's a dangerous rebound for Sorlot. He can shoot from here. Very good. Closing the gaps there, Mallorca's defense. Kufre. Good, very good at rebounding there. Moment of hesitation there from the Real Sociedad player was enough for the Mallorca defenders to leap at their chance.
Hauríem d'intentar evitar centros i defensar-la més en fora de la porteria perquè al final Sorlot...
Of course, we do have to try and defend as far away as possible from the goal because Sorlot is similar to Maurici in the sense that he will make spaces for himself. Navarro rebounds and there's the goal. Real Sociedad found the perfect gap, the perfect moment. Navarro there with his left foot. Very, very narrow, but very, very well angled. They definitely were warning, there's no doubt about that. However, the pass there was excellent. There's no doubt about that. But yes, that pass was already half the work done.
Bueno, pues está vibrando, ¿no? El estadio ahora de Anoeta, la Real Sociedad. Bueno, queda mucho partido, evidentemente por...
So, of course, the stadium absolutely vibrating right now. However, there is still a very, very long way to go.
de momento para poner por delante a su equipo, ¿no? Pero bueno, queda mucho partido, como digo, y hay que evidentemente empezar a reaccionar. Vamos a ver si lo hace el equipo ahora de Aguirre. Ahí está Copete levantando la cabeza.
So let's see how the team reacts to this. COPA raises his head. Gio appears, passes it over to Antonio Sanchez. Gaia and Battaglia getting in touch with the ball over to Martin Balgent, finding Copete once again. Kangin Lee appears for the first time. He gets stepped on by Thubimendi, so there's a foul.
Vamos a ver esta falta que va a poner el jugador surcoreano con su pierna izquierda. Suben los centrales, sube Copete, sube Balgin, sube Gaia. Bueno, vamos a ver, porque también a balón parado el Mallorca puede hacer daño.
Of course, free kicks are always dangerous, so let's see what Mallorca can do with this one. This time, Martin Balgent wasn't able to head that particularly well.
Real Sociedad. Juega Lenormand para su portero, para Remiro.
So Lenormand plays with his goalkeeper. And after that foul, that means the ball goes over to Real Sociedad. Lenormand now once again. At the moment, they're not finding any gaps or any mistakes to work through. So of course, we imagine that is exactly what Real Sociedad were hoping for, to react quickly from the start and take control of the match.
Ahí está Thubimendi dando esa salida de balón a su equipo, ganando metros en el círculo central, tocando para Bryce Méndez ya en zona de 3/4, aproximándose peligrosamente, la pone para Oyarzabal.
Thubimendi very dangerously close now to the goal, passes it over to his colleague, shoots with his left foot, and luckily it goes out. But again, definitely a poisonous kick there.
Buscó posición de tiro, perfiló con su pierna zurda, se estiró Dominic Grave y otra vez otra oportunidad, Xisco, molt perillosa per ells.
Sí, no, quan tira la diagonal cap a dins li quema la cama bona i treu tir, perquè té molt bon tir i li ha quedat just per fer la jugada que també li agrada.
Todas las ocasiones que tienen un peligro.
But at the moment, unfortunately, all the approaches to the goal are extremely dangerous ones.
Yo estoy de acuerdo, Yo estoy de acuerdo que y en breve tienen que jugar contra el Real Madrid y cuidado porque si la Real mantiene este nivel está ahora mismo para ganarle a cualquiera,
And yes, and something else to point out is that Real are almost due to play Real Madrid. And if they keep up this level, then Real Madrid can definitely be shaking in their boots because they will definitely put up a fight to them. Mallorca, of course, desperately trying to find their way in this match. Back to the goalkeeper, Ramiro. So it's all about keeping a cold head and wait for our moment, which will come, of course. Yeah, it's all about not losing balance. We've got to try and attack more, but without, leaving out the details. So inside the risk that we can take, we've got to be very careful. because there are very quick and very good footed players, and they could really hurt us on the counter attack.
Punto ha estado de recuperar esa pelota. Tino que se la lanzó al suelo para intentar rebañarla, pero no pudo. Cuidado el pase. Buscaba que a Sorloz.
Tino threw himself on the ground there to rescue that, but he wasn't able to. Real Mallorca midfielder. But Real Sociedad are back in possession now. And the referee has just whistled a foul in favour of Real Sociedad. He was going to let play go on, but then fouled eventually. So Alguacil's team in possession.
Hizo el amago, ¿no? de correr hacia el balón, pero vio rápidamente que ese balón se perdería por la línea de fondo y será por tanto saque de puerta, ¿no? Para los de Javier Aguirre.
So back to the goalkeeper, back to De Grief. 12th minute on the clock. Mallorca currently 1-0 down. Looking for that first opportunity to put us back into the match.
Que se va al suelo, parecía que había falta, le reclamaba Aguirre, no pitan al colegiado, se le lleva a Bryce, que la pone con el exterior para Oyarzabal, ahí la ventaja.
Bryce hits the ball with the outside of his foot and Martin Valgent shoots. Kufre combs the ball, but Kangin wasn't there in time to receive that. Real Sociedad recover the ball. Pacheco and Lenormand finding Zubimendi, the author of the pass of the first goal. Looking for Oyarzabal. Martin Valgent sends it directly into a corner, second one of the match for Real Sociedad.
Esperemos que no lo vuelvan a hacer ahora. Todo el Mallorca metió dentro de su área, tan solo Kangin Lee que se queda para una posible.
All of the Mallorca team inside the goal scoring area now, except Kangin Lee, who stays outside in case there is the chance to go on the rebound. So rebound there from that, and then Golosabel appears once again. And eventually manages to provoke a throw-in. So Bryce, Lenormand and Pacheco in possession now. Kufre covering and rebounding now. Ramiro moves out. However, he does ignite some applause for him in the stadium.
De hecho, cuando ha marcado la Real, enseguida lo que ha hecho es darse la vuelta e ir a hablar con su banquillo, con Tony Amor, con Paul Lorente, y bueno, y ahora ya está especialmente enérgico, dando instrucciones y sí, dando órdenes a los jugadores.
Javier Aguirre, since that goal arrived, is extremely active in the stadium. He's been talking with his team, and I'm sure that he's all he can think about is his intentions of equalising and getting back to square one. That foul, of course, quite far away from Ramiro's goal, but you never know because anything can become very dangerous in a match like this. So let's see what Kangin Lee can do with Antonio Sanchez by his side. Left foot from Kangin Lee. A header now, Gobida's there, not there in time. Rebounded by the defence. Tino's there trying to recover the ball. But unfortunately, it's going to go back into the goalkeeper's possession for Real Sociedad.
Aquest assetjament, no? La nostra porteria tenen la pilota, evidentment, però és que els primers 10 minuts han estat una miqueta infernals,
Sí, m'han ficat a camp contrari, m'han posat centros, han vingut dues jugades de pilota durada i després la jugada de gol tot molt seguit.
Yes, they have been pretty hellish for 17 minutes because they've forced us to play, of course, in a way that we would rather not. And then, of course, they've got what they wanted at the moment, so we're the ones who have to react to that now. Finding Angel Rodriguez, opening up to the right-hand side now. Gio Gonzalez is there. Mallorca trying to send it up, but unfortunately rebounded by the defence. But there's Antonio trying to bring it back. Sorlot playing over to Gaia. Let's see if Gio Gonzalez can reach the ball now. Ends up at Antonio Sanchez's feet.
Havíem arribat clarament i després en gent. És a dir, no hem trobat rematador, però sí havíem ocupat vells espais.
Recupera Merino, el balón para Bryce, que llega acercándose a la frontal.
So the ball for Bryce now. They were saying that it's a foul on for Battaglia, but referee lets play go on, and that is football. Hernandez was very close and whistled that very well. So possession back to Mallorca.
Primera parte, el Mallorca que quiere su primera gran ocasión del partido, su primer sustito, como nos gusta decir a nosotros. Ahí está Battaglia, el argentino que la pone a la izquierda, complicado para Cufré, tendrá que saltar, ahí está con la cabeza, la pone el lateral, pero no puede hacer mucho más, así que va a ser saque de banda para el conjunto Churriurdin.
Back to a throw-in for Real Sociedad. As Victoria was saying, you can tell that there are many empty seats in the stadium, but with the weather and the day of the week that it is more than understandable.
Claro, para pedirle un favor al jefe, imagínate, dices, pues mira, ya llego después y lo veo por la tele.
Pues casi.
Lo veo en Play Red Live.
Es el primer partido de octavos de final. Mallorca arranca esta eliminatoria con la Real.
However, just to point out, it is actually the first match of this round of the King's Cup. Mallorca and Real Sociedad are kicking it off. Tino Cadaware there loses control in just the last moment.
Sí, no, al final és un jugador que crec que ens aporta aquesta velocitat, aquesta ocupació d'espais i s'associa molt bé i sempre que juga després s'habilita, és un jugador molt dinàmic, per tant...
However, he is a very dynamic player.
Molt bon partit contra un molt bon rival per agafar sensacions.
And it's a very good match against a very good rival for him.
Les estones que li ha tocat jugar ha estat bé.
Ahora afortunadamente no se entendieron Oyarzábal y Sorlot, no pudo controlar la pelota.
Sorlot and Oyarzábal weren't able to control the ball there. Norwegian player Sorlot for Real Sociedad.
Pierde la Real, recupera Cufré, que se la lleva con calidad, quiere hacer ahí el túnel, viene al rescate también Antonio Sánchez para jugar atrás con...
Cufré and Antonio Sanchez play at the back with COPA. Advantage for Lenormand, playing with Navarro, back to Subimendi. Subimendi makes a mistake there. Back to Kangin Lee.
En última instancia, pero puede ponerla.
Valgent skids there in the last moment, but he's got time to fix it. But Ángel Rodríguez was too far ahead, so that is offside as the linesman's flag goes up.
La Real. Fijaos este detalle ahora, como Javier Aguirre aplaudiendo al Liner, ¿eh?
Sí, ha pegado un salto del banquillo.
No, claro, es que si era fuera de juego, pues lo era, ¿no? Y lo ha celebrado.
Javier Aguirre showing his appreciation for the linesman there, applauding him for seeing that, because if there's anything we know about Javier Aguirre is that he's a very fair person. Golosabel for Real Sociedad once again. Marino there, looking at Navarro on the right-hand side, over to Bryce Mendes, so that he's the one who kind of moves the ball through the midfield. Subimendi, the Anoeta team. Bryce sends it up. Sorlot there. And it's a throw-in now.
D'anar per ells i que saltis i t'aprofitin els espais, tu saltis, t'alluïn a la teva esquena i no és fàcil, per tant, pel que deia, no? Hem de tenir també el cap fred i intentar reaccionar i atacar, però amb equilibri.
So it is true, we've got to try and attack and fight, but in a balanced way to not make any mistakes. Real Sociedad did actually win the King's Cup right before the pandemic started, so we do know we're an extremely high quality company here tonight. So Sorlot in the goal scoring area, a bit messy there. Olazabal receives it. Kangin Lee is there as well. People annoyed because they were asking for a foul on Olazabal. Martin Valgent seems to have hurt himself too. Oyarzabal clutching his left knee there. We don't know about Martin Valgent yet. And yes, it's both of them's knees. It was a knee-long collision. However, it is true that with this weather and with this cold tonight, that is something for the players to think about. But yes, Martin Valgent is limping now. Of course, for Oyarzabal, it's a tough one as well. He's just come out of an injury. But it was completely involuntary, and both of them are probably as bad as each other right now. It's just 5 degrees in the stadium. And going down, of course, the later it gets. So there we go, it's the first yellow card of the match. Subimendi asks for an explanation. The foul was Bryce Mendes. However, the Mallorca striker is still on the ground right now. However, watching it back, the Real Sociedad player really does bring his leg up pretty high. But the Real Sociedad player simply got there too late, and that was the reason for the foul, in all honesty. But direct yellow card for Bryce Mendes. So this dangerous free kick is going to be taken by Kangin Lee. He's looking for the second post. But the ball ends up in Ramiro's hands, the goalkeeper's hands.
Sí, no, i a veure si les tenim un poquet més a prop, perquè tant en fora és més difícil. Al final és complicat. Les dues primeres hem optat per una segona jugada, rematar i que hi hagi una altra jugada. Aquesta hem optat més per directe, però tant en fora se fa difícil.
However, it is true that from that far away, things do get more difficult. And of course, now the fans are going to ask for a yellow card for Battaglia.
Favorable a la Real Sociedad. Vamos a ver por qué Bryce se queda al lado de la pelota. Ya se desentiende, parece.
We'll see why Bryce stays next to the ball.
Yo por la cerca més ell que...
Sí, está buscando el choque con Battaglia para provocar la falta. Por eso he dicho un poco, me he quedado un poco...
But yes, watching it back, it seems like Bryce, the Olazábal, actually looked for that collision with our player, with Martin Valgent, and it's now going to be a throw-in for Real Sociedad with Goyo Sabil ready to take it.
El Real Mallorca está Gorosabel, el toque de calidad de Bryce, bien también Gorosabel de nuevo dentro del área.
So that high quality touch there from Bryce leaves the ball for Bryce, who's trying to break away, as well as Kangin Lee. Him and Antonio Sanchez chasing Gorosabel now. The rebound there, and it goes out, and it's back to the goalkeeper's possession. So the fans asking for a penalty on Bryce. However, the referee has clearly been told by VAR that there's nothing there, and the green light has been given to Dominic Grief.
González hoy en el bar, el árbitro castellano-leonés, y Muñiz Ruiz, ¿no? en la sala BOR, así que bueno, pues han revisado esta jugada rápidamente y han visto que no había nada.
And they have gone over this move and clearly decided that there's nothing to say there. Advantage to Gio now, playing with his goalkeeper, and it's back to the start for Mallorca. So Chisco, what can we do to draw and equalise here? Well, I mean, it's complicated, but at the end of the day, as the match goes on, we're going to have to start taking more risks. We'll have to have more possession, more presence in the opposite pitch. But as time goes on, we're going to have to take more risks, and I'm sure Javier Aguirre will be thinking about how to make those happen. Bryce and Lenormand playing now. Lenormand and Bryce Mendes. Merino asks for the ball. He got into some problems there, but very good with Sorlot. Shoots and scores once again. But that is offside. The linesman brings up his flags. Celebrations already from the player and captain, as well as the fans, of course. But the referee and the linesman are having none of it. And he immediately saw that it was offside there. Now the referee is asking the Real Sociedad striker to relax, because he is going to be told on VAR whether it was offside or not. I can see Martin Valgent's face looking extremely serious here as well. So we're going to watch this back now. I think he is offside. But yes, watching it back there, we can tell that it is offside.
Que pasa esto, me estaba fijando en el asistente que estaba ahí como diciendo a ver si he acertado, y cuando ve que el árbitro principal, ¿no? En este caso Hernández Zonal, le dice ok, dice vale, pues me han aprobado, he acertado. Estava un poquet avançat Xisco Suavitat,
are very professional, but they are very difficult for the linesman as well, because there's always that moment when they take it to VAR thinking, oh, have I done my job correctly? And there's always then that look of relief on their face when they see that they did make the right decision initially.
Valiendo el gol de Navarro en el minuto 5 de partido. Ahí está.
So Navarro's goal still the decider at the moment from the 5th minute of the match. Merino takes the ball, looking for the speed of Oyarzabal.
Bien, ahora taponando en ayuda defensiva Antonio Sánchez, que además lucha por ese balón y se la termina llevando.
Antonio Sánchez looking for to do some help there. A bit of a foul. 2 fouls on the consecutively. And the ball goes to Mallorca. The second one there was on Kangin Lee.
Tenim molt clar de durar la jugada i és un equip que té molt de registres i treballa bastant bé, però nosaltres hem d'anar a la nostra i hem d'intentar sobretot fer qualque ocasió, perquè fins ara no ens hem pogut acostar i hem de fer qualque ocasió perquè ells també vegin que nosaltres estem en el partit i que estem vius. Per tant, seria important, a banda que acabés la primera part, tenir qualque opció.
Of course, it would be important before we go to half-time for the team to at least have some goal-scoring opportunities for morale, especially, of course.
Ha sido un jugador de la Real Sociedad, probablemente Gorosabel, así que va a ser saque de banda. Pide rápidamente la pelota Cufré. Ahí está buscando el movimiento de Ángel.
Cufré asking for the ball there. Battaglia and Antonio Sanchez. Pressured by Navarro, and they end up stealing the ball. Real Sociedad number 17.
Ese balón no era el mismo Gaya, como decía. Ahora falta sobre Gorosabel, el árbitro que le ayuda a levantar.
And there is Gaya, but he's fouled Gorosabel. And Navarro is extremely quick, isn't he? Yes, because apart from everything else, he's also very young. Cufré and Oyarzabal, Copete rebounds. Battaglia ends up stealing the ball. There's that foul there. Copete is annoyed because he says he'd already sent it over to the right-hand side. However, what the referee says goes, but the ball goes over to Mallorca. So 10 minutes left of this first half. There's still time ahead to try and equalize in this first half. Mallorca looking for that first clear opportunity of the match. Tactical foul on Navarro there for Mallorca. Navarro, who is having an amazing match, and he's in absolutely all the moves carried out at the moment by Real Sociedad.
Seria important el que deia, no? Intentar acostumar-nos a porteria contrària, perquè en el final a nivell emocional també hi ha una part molt important, no? En el futbol, i estaria bé que tinguessin qualque ocasió.
On an emotional level, of course, as we know, there's a really big element of that in football. So, of course, that would also be the reason for which Mallorca would need to have some goal-scoring opportunities. So Zubimendi and Pacheco now over to the right with Gorosabel. Bryce appears. Number 23, Zubimendi for Real Sociedad. Passes over. They're asking for a penalty, but there's nothing there. Copete is there to help for Mallorca. asking his colleagues for some more intensity with the ball.
De caer al suelo.
Buen enfado el de Copete, lo veíamos a ver unos buenos aspavientos y unos buenos gritos. Por un momento ha cogido como el brazalete de
But yes,
capitán y iba a
Copete
decir,
there looking absolutely livid. So he looks like us, and he should be having a captain's armband on.
Jo entenc que la bronca és un poc per això, perquè tanqui aquest espai.
Es un poco repetitiva esta jugada, que siempre parece que el peligro pasa por justamente el mismo hueco.
However, at the moment, we do agree with what he's saying, which is to close the gaps, because every time they seem to be approaching the goal, it seems to be a very repetitive move of them finding easy gaps to work through in the defense. Antonio Sanchez now passes over to the left, and Brian Cufré joins. Sends it to Tino, but makes a mistake. So Copete has to race to win the ball, but he loses it to Sorlot. They're going to go on the counter-attack now. As they pass it to Navarro once again. Luckily, then he loses the ball. As Mallorca ask each other for a bit of calm in the rhythm of the match. However, as soon as Copete did that, then he turned right round to Javier Aguirre to apologize.
Real Sociedad i Sorlot és que és molt gran, o sigui, quan el tens de vora, a poc te costa...
95 centímetres.
Yes, Sorlot is 1.95 m, so of course he is an enormous player to try and get through.
Míramelo, Victoria. 195, metro 95, Sorlot.
Yes, 1.95 m. So Mallorca now on the attack. Gio Gonzalez playing with the South Korean, finding Battaglia. And Navarro once again is in the situation, playing in defense.
Estamos viendo la 1,94 Muriqui. Tampoco me voy a equivocar de mucho, es un centímetro,
No, però te dic una cosa, sense saber l'estadística, estic segur que Muriqui és molt més guanyador de duels, molt més, sobretot pel caràcter que té. I a part que és una cosa que transmet a l'equip i per això entenc que mos agrada tant als aficionats, que és un tio que transmet moltíssim i té un caràcter brutal.
No, i en Muriqui també és més corpulent, que té un centímetre més, però el centímetre que té de més, en Muriqui en té un parell de músculs, de més.
Tú lo has visto muy claro, yo los veía iguales, pero bueno.
Victoria, un centímetro puede ser decisivo en esta vida en algún momento, Vamos a ver, ahí está jugando la Real Sociedad, que surten en pilota controladas de darrere. S'ataca és un equiparro, però bueno, ja ho sabíem.
Of course, we know that it is an incredible team, but Navarro makes a mistake there, thankfully for us. They're waiting for some help from Tino. There's a throw-in now from Mallorca. Gio Gonzalez is going to take it. 5 minutes left of this first half. Gio there, over to Martin Balgent, who controls the ball pretty well. Finds Kangin Lee. But he does eventually foul, and that is going to be a problem, because that is going to be a yellow card.
Sí, és involuntari, però... Sí. No, fica't la cama pensant que arribaràs i te fiques a punteta i just el trepitges.
Of course, it's one of those situations where you think that you're going to be able to reach the ball in time. and then any kind of mistake can happen.
Sí, és que
és brutal.
Sí, és el que dic, ell al final estiris a cama pensant que arribarà i te fiquen sa punta i el trepitges y l'agafes malament.
Parece que no, pero cuando te pones la repetición y el primer plano, es que rufa.
Sí.
Es ese centímetro que te decía Victoria, que es decisivo.
Total.
Ya es un centímetro tarde y ya la hemos liado.
Pues sí.
Ramiro now, the goalkeeper, but Gaya recovers for Mallorca over to Martin Valgent. Over to COPETE. Cufre provoking a foul.
Copete que coloca la pelota, vamos a ver si la pone en largo, 3 minutitos para que se acabe esta primera parte. Sigue de momento sin llover aquí en
3 minutes left only now of this first half.
Cuando Gio de primeras bien para Tino, que bajó a recibir.
Gio and Tino trying to protect the ball at all costs. And we're seeing where Real Sociedad put the pressure on. Martin Valgent there, slightly annoyed. Because Martin Valgent cut across there and kept the ball for him, but I think that they wanted to pass it to Grave and for Grave to do a long pass. But we understand Martin Valgent's intentions there. Antonio Sanchez there trying to gain ground. Can he do that? Loses the ball. Cufre over to Real Sociedad again. Throw in now. Alguacil for Real Sociedad has 3 players warming up right now. Lenormand. Cangenli isn't there in time.
De ir por detrás en el marcador, de ver que no consigues no crear oportunidades y hay que creer.
Yo creo que todavía si el Mallorca consigue irse al descanso con este resultado será, puedo decir incluso hasta positivo, porque la Real es verdad que ha pegado un buen arreón en los minutos iniciales, que es lo que ha dificultado yo creo que el Mallorca haya entrado bien en el partido, porque es verdad que los 5 primeros minutos...
I do think, however, Mallorca entered the match very well, with an unusual starting lineup, of course. And I think the only way they've been able to find their feet is because of all these attacks from Real Sociedad. But Bryce Mendes there with that rebound on his left foot. It looked like it was going to go to a corner, but no, it's going to go to the goalkeeper, in fact.
Sí, un minutito de añadido, vamos a llegar por tanto al 46.
Que yo creo que Aguirre tendrá que hacer varios cambios al inicio de la segunda parte.
Sí, no, està clar que la millor notícia és que no m'han fet el segon, que acabi la primera part i que puguem fer variants que ens ajudin a reaccionar, perquè al final la Real la primera part ha estat molt bé
However, Real Sociedad did do very well in this first half.
Fora de lloc claríssim, però sí que les opcions que han tingut han estat clares.
And the opportunities that they've had, or that we have granted them in this first half, have been very clear and very direct. So just 1 minute of extra time, and we're nearly approaching the 46 minutes. This will be the last move of the first half. Grave ready to defend. Just 2 players not in that defensive point.
la pone buscando a Mikel Merino, rechaza ahora Antonio Battaglia y va a ser, yo creo que el final, sí. Se acaba, por tanto, esta primera parte. El árbitro pendiente de si hay algo más que le tenga
So
que
that is the
confirmar.
end there of the first half. Referee watching to see if VAR needs to tell him anything else.
Real Mallorca 1-0, que ahora mismo estaría eliminado ya de la.
And there goes the whistle. So the teams make their way into the changing rooms now.
Segundo tiempo, así que vamos a ver cómo se desarrolla esta segunda parte aquí en Anoeta.
And we'll see how the second half develops here in Anoeta.
Al árbitro, yo creo que por esa jugada del gol porque ha habido ese fuera de juego. Antes de irnos a pausa en unos instantes, ¿qué reflexión o qué valoración harías de esta primera parte?
No, al final...
So Chisco, what do you think of this first half?
La Sociedad ha tingut moltíssima possessió, un 66%, Mallorca pràcticament li ha costat tenir pilota, m'haurem costat en tres.
I mean, it's been tough for us to have possession. I think we didn't have any corners.
L'ocasió que han tingut, una és a porteria i pràcticament és el gol, sí que han tingut tirs però que no han anat entre els tres palos i ha estat l'inici seu m'haurà condicionat moltíssim, necessitant reaccionar. Estic segur que en Aguirre doncs ja estarà pensant en fer qualque o variar el dibuix o com a mínim també fer qualque canvi perquè necessitem reaccionar i
And I think that Javier Aguirre will be thinking about what changes tactically he can do for this second half. Yeah, so we're going to go to break at this half-time mark, and we'll bring you all the news as soon as we're back.
Grupo Escribano. Somos especialistas en reformas y fachadas. Financia ahora el 100% y paga en 12 meses sin intereses. Para importes desde 200 euros hasta 200.000 euros. 0% TAE. Grupo Escribano.
Bienvenido a bordo. Déjate llevar por la compañía española con la que vuelan cada año más de 10 millones de pasajeros a más de 50 destinos en todo el mundo. Disfruta de la unión entre tecnología y confort que ofrecemos en nuestra renovada flota de aviones. Nos gustará verte pronto, muy pronto. En Europa, cada detalle cuenta.
viure.
Bienvenido a bordo. Déjate llevar por la compañía española con la que vuelan cada año más de 10 millones de pasajeros a más de 50 destinos en todo el mundo. Disfruta de la unión entre tecnología y confort que ofrecemos en nuestra renovada flota de aviones. Nos gustará verte pronto, muy pronto. Air Europa, cada detalle cuenta.
Grupo Escribano. Somos especialistas en reformas y fachadas. Financia ahora al 100% y paga en 12 meses sin intereses. Para importes desde 200 euros hasta 200.000 euros. 0% TAE. Grupo Escribano.
Y ya estamos de vuelta en Red Live con
And we
estos
are back
resultados de la
live
Copa
on
Rey y vemos, Chisco, que está
the
cayendo
program
agua
here
por
in
aquí
this last
importante
8th
en Anoeta,
round
pero
of the
yo estoy
King's Cup.
tranquila porque mi compañero Dani Barjacoa, que no quiero que se me constipe ni se me resfríe ni nada, como está cubierto por Plaura. No sé si Dani me escucha en estos momentos. Sí.
Sí, te escucho. No, yo
So
estoy
what's the weather
escuchando
doing at the
todo,
moment over there?
sí que están ahí abajo y
Well, I
bueno,
do
pues
feel sorry for the
bueno,
cameraman who must be
sí,
getting
no, pero hay que decir que la
extremely
zona que
wet
están,
because it really is pouring
hay
down now.
como, sabes que bueno, la remodelación del estadio está todo el estadio, digamos que la gente no se moja, pero es verdad que la gente que está en los anillos más inferiores se mojaban y añadieron ahí como un
And there are definitely going to be certain people in certain points of the stadium that are they're bound to be getting pretty wet right now.
Claro,
Te veo con
y
guantes,
ahora,
Dani, ¿eh?
sí, no, claro, aquí
So it must be freezing there because we can see you in
con el descanso me los pongo. En Chisco, claro, mani curte, es que, claro,
in gloves there, Danny.
però...
No m'ha donat temps, demà entreno.
no t'ha donat temps. Exacto. Bueno, pues te cuento, Victoria, que sí, que llueve muchísimo ahora, la verdad. Y claro, no sé.
So yes, it is extremely wet at the moment, as we were saying.
Si es para estar activos y para entrar en algún momento, o si ya va a hacer algún cambio. Veo a Dani Rodríguez, veo a Muriqui, creo que es Jaume
So we can see Mauricio, we can see Dani Rodríguez, Jaume Costa, Amath also, all of them active. I could also see Abdon Prats earlier and Pablo Maffeo. But no, I can't seem to see Pablo Maffeo actually.
Están con tarjeta y claro, Pablo Maffeo el día que jugó en el Real Arena en Liga jugó a pierna cambiada por banda izquierda porque Jaume Costa estaba lesionado.
Sí, a ver, es una de las opciones, ¿no? Vamos a ver un poquito lo que decide Javier Aguirre. Ahora cuando salten, ¿no?, los jugadores os podré contar más cosas, ¿no? Y si hay alguna novedad, ya te digo, en el banquillo del Real Mallorca, pero bueno, está claro que va a ir haciendo cambios, ¿no? Javier Aguirre en esta segunda parte, porque lo decía Chisco, el Mallorca está obligado a reaccionar. Es un resultado corto y Chisco.
So of course now it's all about Mallorca turning on the turbo and reacting to the goal. So of course the aim is to equalize right now, right? Of course, yeah. I mean, we're at a disadvantage now.
Reaccionar, fer canvis, modificar dibuix, moltes coses. Per tant, la primera part clarament ha estat de la Real Sociedad i ara nosaltres...
The first half was undeniably Real Sociedad. So now we have to react, and we've got to try and try and turn the match around.
Bueno, pues vamos a ver, ¿no?, qué nos depara la segunda parte, pero bueno, vemos que ya va volviendo... Ah, no, estas son imágenes, vale. Me he mirado hacia la pantalla, he visto que estaba Tony Amor.
Iba a decir lo mismo,
y
Dani.
digo, no, son imágenes de la primera parte, de cómo se ha vivido, ¿no? El encuentro.
So we're just watching images there of the first half. It is incredibly heavy rain in the stadium right now.
La verdad que lloviendo con mucha intensidad, pues ahora está haciendo un poquito lo mismo, de haber nubarrones por aquí arriba, y está descargando con mucha fuerza. Algunos de los aficionados, ¿no?, que estaban ahí en las zonas más bajas y que quizá por el viento se mojaban, se han ido para arriba, aprovechando pues todas esas butacas vacías, ¿no?, en el día de hoy.
So there are many empty seats at the moment in the stadium, as we were saying, as we just watch back this the goal in the 5th minute of the match.
Veo a Dani Rodríguez desde aquí, ahora que se va la banda, que está ya prácticamente empapado. Muriqui que sigue, ¿no?, haciendo remates. Sí.
Han pinchado ahora en la señal televisiva la afición del Mallorca y te diría que están a pie de campo, por decirlo de algún modo, pero que están abajo del todo. O sea, porque se veía directamente el muro, de abajo de...
So just trying to pinpoint the Mallorca fans that are in the stadium tonight, and we do seem to have just found them now.
Y verá, ¿no?, los aficionados del Real Mallorca que están más o menos cerquita del banquillo del Real Mallorca y que han bajado hasta ahí. Veo que son más o menos, pues sí, los 5, 6, 7 que había. Ahora están saludando.
There's about 5, 6, 7 maybe people that have made their way over with the official group for this match. Of course, tricky conditions, as we already mentioned earlier. But Gio, Kufre are on the pitch at the moment, so it doesn't look like there's any changes coming at the beginning.
He resat tot el que sé i no sé moltes coses, també t'ho dic. Però bueno.
No, quan se mou se complica, el tema.
No, i Bilbao, tu saps, Bilbao és una plaça complicada, per això i més aquest mes de gener que ha començat amb força amb aquest temporal. Bueno, pues saltan ahora también los jugadores de la Real Sociedad. Veo al cuarto árbitro con el cartelón.
So as the Real Sociedad players come onto the pitch now.
El dorsal número 42, porque es un chaval joven, Marín. Así que, bueno, pues refresca un poquito su equipo Imanol Alguacil. Así que Merino
So a couple of changes in Real Sociedad's ranks. And yes, as you said, Danny, it really is torrential rain now. There's no doubt about that.
A ver, mala suerte, Vicky, sería que lloviera en Sevilla, seguramente, ¿eh? Pero...
Ya, eso es verdad.
Pero sí, no, tienes razón, perdona la broma. Arrancó la segunda parte, queremos ahí ponerle un poquito de humor, a ver si nos animamos también nosotros, si llega el...
So let's see what we can do with the atmosphere in this match now today.
Pelotazo de la defensa, viene a intentar recuperar la primera balón que toca Marín, que ha ingresado, como decimos, en el...
So Marín gets the first touch on the ball.
Ubicándose ahí en el centro del campo, juega la Real desde atrás con el francés Lenormand.
Real playing from defense.
Este también de primera para Pacheco para que gane metros. El central que levanta
Pacheco now trying to gain meters.
la ventaja aquí para Cufré. Aparece por aquí Kangin Lee, se escapa el último control, se la lleva Marín, aparece Navarro.
Kangin Lee loses control of the ball at the end there.
Viene Sorlot tocar ese balón hacia atrás. Oyarzábal de primeras.
Sorlot trying to send the ball back once again.
Abriendo a la derecha de nuevo para el
Subimendi opening up to the right. Finding Mendes, shoots. Rejected with a punch from Grief.
Puso los puños ahí Grefe, que no vio claro, ese balón seguramente iba con algo de efecto. Rechazó con, la verdad que eso sí, bastante potencia.
However, that save was a powerful one. It wasn't too dangerous there.
Sí. Bastante inteligente el porter del Real Mallorca.
Estoy atenta al banquillo del Mallorca y de momento no veo mucho movimiento.
So actually looking at the Mallorca's bench, it doesn't seem to be moving too much at the moment.
Para que salgan en los últimos 20-25 minutos, pero bueno.
A ver, también hay que decir una cosa, opinión que doy, es decir, también el viernes hay un partido de liga ante el Celta.
Of course, on the other hand, we do have to understand that on Friday there is a league match, and of course we can understand that Javier Aguirre wants to stick with the players that he has on the pitch now, because he believes that other players may be the precise profile for Friday's match instead.
Que tampoco hay que, según vaya el partido, olvidarse, ¿no? de que es una semana muy exigente y que el viernes en casa pues hay un partido súper importante, Xisco.
Sí, no, i en el final també la Real Sociedad també ho ha fet, és a dir, tu fas el millor 11 tenint en compte tota la setmana. Al final tu has de quadrar una jornada més un partit de Copa, per tant has de ser intel·ligent i has de quadrar tot. Està clar que tens de fer canvis.
So of course you do have to think smart and you have to think ahead.
Per això és un poc el d'abans, no? D'estar viu en el partit i estar equilibrats i estar vius.
Justo ahora veía que Clement Grenier, si no me equivoco, se levantaba. De momento solo he visto pasar a él por detrás del míster, pero sé que Paul le ha hecho la seña como vosotros dos y el segundo es Amat. Sí, pues si no me equivoco es Clement y Amat.
So it does look like it's Clement Grenier and Amath who are warming up at the moment. So there we go. Mallorca players starting to warm up to get ready. But there's the central pass there from Mallorca, but unfortunately it's rebounded back. Foul in favour of Mallorca now.
Qué pena que no había nadie ahí para poder acabar esa jugada, pero bueno, ya es una buena señal.
And it's a real shame that nobody was there to finish off that move.
Justo lo que buscaba Ángel en esta ocasión, apurar en línea de fondo y meterla a ver si alguien ponía el pie y buscaba el remate. Bueno, pues tenemos a Don, a Grenier y a Matt Ndiaye calentando ya, y hoy más que nunca hay que calentar antes de salir aquí.
So yes, we do have Clement Grenier and Amat Ndiaye warming up now. Of course, extremely important in a day like today in this stadium to have a good warm up before you go onto the pitch.
También la cubierta y demás, pues la verdad es que se está bastante protegido, pero no, ahora mismo no, mucho viento no, pero cómo cae la lluvia. Pero bueno, recupera, cuidado la pelota, la perdió Cufré, recupera Oyarzábal, le acompaña Navarro también en cortito.
Navarro is there now for Real Sociedad.
Caracoleando delante de Antonio Sánchez.
In front of Antonio Sanchez. The ball once again goes to Bryce Mendes now. Pacheco. Back to Bryce once again. Gorosabel.
Buscaban de nuevo el pase para Navarro. Vamos a ver ahí de nuevo en cortito con Bryce. El gallego recibiendo ahora la falta de Kangin. Estaba atento el colegiado.
Getting fouled there by Kangin Lee. The referee was completely aware of that and whistled it straight away.
Real Sociedad.
That's obviously going to greatly benefit Real Sociedad.
El francés jugando para Pacheco. Pisando la pelota. De nuevo con Pacheco. Ahí está Zubimendi abriendo a la derecha.
Once again with Pacheco and Zubimendi now opening up to the right.
Terminó perdiendo, no, además terminó haciendo falta. Pisó el jugador de
Ends up losing the ball.
Claro, le piden amarilla y le va a caer amarilla.
And unfortunately now that means that there is going to be a yellow card, and it looks like it's going to be for Gio.
Sí, a Gio.
Pues ha llevado una falta tremenda.
Falta favorable al Mallorca. Protestan la amarilla y le sacan la amarilla a Gio. Bueno. Pues otro jugador de Mallorca con cartulina, ¿no? Fre.
Obviously very frustrating that for Gio.
Vamos a ver, Gaya con pierna izquierda la pone en largo para que se pelee Ángel. La ventaja ahí para Pacheco. Ahí en Muñoz que la pone de nuevo atrás. Mordía Ángel.
Pacheco passes it backwards now. Lose the ball to Mallorca.
Protesta sí que és la mateixa que fa nosaltres la primera part.
Sí. No, claro.
És igual.
Això. Sí.
És clavada.
Por eso. Valgen que la pone arriba buscando aquí la cabeza de Tino. Otra falta. Y esto también me parece a mí que va a terminar ahora sí en cartulina amarilla.
And now that looks like that is going to end with in a yellow card as well. This time for Pacheco.
De la Real, bueno, pues otro jugador, pero bueno. Això ja ha començat diferent aquesta segona part, eh?
Sí.
And this second half has definitely started in a bit of a different way.
Estem tenint algo més de pilota i se nota, per tant.
Yeah, I think we're having the ball a lot more, which is, of course, it's a positive change.
Venga, va, que esto lo sacamos adelante entre todos. Los nuestros están calentando por si necesitéis refuerzos de última hora. Muy Mallorca.
Ahí está, pues no están tampoco tan lejos, ¿eh? Están aquí por la zona. Pero bueno, sí. Grande los amigos del Autol. Un abrazo desde aquí, su community, que no descansa. Está entregate que estamos. Muy bien. Autol fue el primer rival del Mallorca.
El primer rival del Mallorca.
Este año en Copa, sí señor.
Autol, of course, and very nicely offering their support to us on their social media, who were our rivals in the first round of the King's Cup this year. That's a shame from COPA there that he lost the ball because he'd actually recovered the ball just moments before.
Y es una falta peligrosa. Es una falta lateral, cerquita ahí del piquito del área. Qué pena, ¿eh?
Yo creo que es más por la velocidad que lleva el balón por el agua, por cómo está el...
Sí, por eso te digo.
Se lamentaba Aguirre. Aguirre se ha dado una vuelta y enfadada tampoco, porque tampoco es culpa realmente de Copete, pero es verdad que le daba rabia esa acción.
Es que nuestra cámara no se aprecia realmente lo que está lloviendo, pero está cayendo una buena ahora mismo. Vamos a ver, minuto 55 de partido. La Real que quiere volver a hacer daño a balón parado. Ahí está rechazando la defensa del Mallorca. Se la queda Canguili pegada y como
So Mallorca there rejecting with the defense.
Solo un error de la Real Sociedad que no se produce. Podría haber
A mistake from Real Sociedad, which has not been taken advantage of.
Va a haber doble cambio en el Mallorca.
Sí, he visto Abdón y el segundo sí que no lo he visto.
Grenier.
Abdón y Grenier. Pues yo creo que
So Abdon and Grenier look like they're warming up as well.
más polvo arriba, que me imagino que lo cambiará por Ángel.
Está ya preparando
I guess that Abdon may be changed for Angel.
Nuestro delegado también avisando al cuarto árbitro de que se va a producir ese doble cambio, poniendo ya el GPS sobre los jugadores del Real Mallorca que van a ingresar al terreno de juego. Y bueno, pues
so just pausing play now for the entrance of the Mallorca players.
Provoca la falta y eso si es falta y parando una en contra, bueno, no muestra la cartulina amarilla, pero bueno, ya estamos provocando más faltas, ya estamos apareciendo más y eso evidentemente es una...
So we are definitely provoking some more fouls now, which of course is good news, which means that we're also being more present in the match. So it does look like it's going to be Angel Rodriguez to come off the pitch.
Bueno, pues se va. Cufre, claro, quita un... Sí, cambia el sistema. Quita un defensa.
So we're changing up the system now. We're going to bring off a defender. Copete on the left. As well as Tino Cadaware, who's also coming off.
Esta no me la esperaba, ¿ves? Me ha pillado en víspera ahí.
Pues pot ser que canviï, no? I canviem també un poc el dibuix.
Sí, y veo ahora a Gio hablando con Martin Balgent. Y pues claro, tienen que ir...
We can see Tino Cadaware now having a conversation with Martin Balgent. It's a bit of a debate as to whether who is going to be taking the action on the left-hand side. So that did look pretty messy there. It looked like there was two groups of three players just talking about where to move and where to go to. And Aramendi and Carlos Fernandez, on the other hand, are ready to come on for Real Sociedad. And it looks like Gorosabel is being treated at the moment by the medical professionals. Canguili at the moment. Grenier hits it back. And there's the looking for Abdon. Clement Grenier is there with everything he's got. The midfielder for Mallorca, which provokes the first corner. And not a double, but a triple change now. Carlos Fernandez, Aramendi, and one more is also coming on. But first, with Clement Grenier and this corner, referee asking for a bit of calm. 3 steps behind Grenier now, hands outstretched. And there's that looking for the rebound there. Abdon Prats was looking for it. Canyon Lee raises his head. It could be the good one. It falls to Grenier. Shoot. And it hits the post. Back to the rebound. And it's Abdon Prats. And there is the referee whistling offside. that was a great opportunity there for Mallorca in the 59th minute. I nearly went there to chant the goal.
Claro, no sé si ha pitat fora de lloc de Copete, no? Pot ser?
Posible, ja no he vist secció repetida. Bueno, se retira Gorosabel, que no podía más.
Gorosabel exits. And Aris Elustondo comes in. Aramendi also enters the pitch as Sorlot and Bryce Mendez exit the pitch. And of course, on comes also Carlos Fernandez.
No, al final entra un jugador per posició, o sigui, posició per posició. Sí, home per home, i un poc serà el mateix, el que passa que canvien un poc el perfil dels jugadors.
We've got to be careful now because Gio might have hurt himself. And we can hear Javier Aguirre telling him to get back up because we're in no position to be doing this. We've got to get back still. Copete and Canginli. Grenier comes there to receive Angel. And it does look like maybe having with the changes that we've made now, it could be possible that we'll have more possession of the ball at least.
Qué pena ese palo.
Sí, està clara. De totes maneres, ja la segona part ha estat diferent, ja hem entrat de manera diferent, hem tingut dues bones aproximacions.
We did start the second half with a different vibe. We do keep hitting the post though very often recently, so obviously that is something we need to be careful with. So Gaia recovers the ball there. First touch and over to Aritz Elustondo. Coming there to generate problems once again. Real Sociedad then once again going on the attack now. Gio protecting the ball. Carlos Fernandez heads over to Golezabal. Gio rebounds and Antonio Sanchez tries to break away. Canginli opening up the other side. Gio Gonzalez playing with Grenier. But there's lots of fouling, lots of tactics, so you can tell, luckily, that the match has changed now. And the midfielders have moved up now, so Canginli there, looking for the second post over to Copete, rebounded by the defence, but Canginli is back, playing with Gio Gonzalez, who controls the ball. Decides to play backwards. Real Sociedad are back in position now. Gio sends the ball down, looking for the speed from Angel Rodriguez.
que se quiere girar, viene el movimiento de Gio a la derecha, recibe el pase por abajo, no llega Ángel, pero sí llega Grenier. Ahí está Grenier, que se fue con todo al suelo.
Grenier,
Deja seguir el colegiado, dice que no hay
who
falta.
goes down to the ground.
El que conduce y ahora sí, la falta de Grenier, la falta táctica del francés. Balón para la Real Sociedad.
There's a tactical foul there from Grenier.
65.
65th minute now of the match. Still a long way to go. Many players warming up as well.
Cuéntanos lo que pasó, Victoria, que no me acuerdo.
Pues hubo
¿Qué pasó con ese gol?
Creo que fue sobre el Iustondo, ¿verdad? La falta previa que solo vio el VAR.
Sí,
pues
señor.
que Amat hizo un golazo.
Espera, la recuperación de Battaglia. El balón que le
And here we go. Battaglia recovers the ball and it falls to Abdon. Shoots there. Left-footed. He tried from outside the goal-scoring area. He could have got a bit closer, but of course he did also see how Subimendi was also approaching the goal. So unfortunately that did not reach where he meant it to.
No, no te preocupes. Sí, me ha recordado un poco al disparo que hizo el día contra el Depor, un poco por la distancia, pero claro, no lleva tanto peligro el balón. No, que marcó ese gol del que todos nos acordamos que fue anulada por esa falta previa que yo creo que nadie vio, solo vio el VAR.
So of course, we remember another goal similar to the one today, which was when Amath scored an amazing goal, very, very skillful, and that was also cancelled because of a previous offside move. But at the moment we've got some referee action on the pitch. So it's a dangerous foul, far away from the goal scoring area. So of course we've got to defend with everything we've got once again now. Take Kubo is ready for Real Sociedad. He's starting to warm up. So that is going to be another big thing in this match. Battaglia there managing to rebound one of the shots from Real Sociedad.
Nos íbamos a perder unos minutos de ataque. Yo estaba segura, lo decía en la previa, que no era del 11, pero que iba a jugar seguro. Y además esta desgracia en los últimos partidos. Esperemos que hoy la suerte no la acompañe, pero bueno, que la acompañe el resto de la temporada menos hoy.
Sin duda. Menos hoy en el partido de vuelta, la segunda vuelta.
Eso es verdad.
Ahí está, Abdon Prats que la peina, no puede llegar Antonio Sánchez, retrasan.
Abdon Prats there combs the ball, but Antonio Sánchez is not there in time to receive it.
Ahí está el desplazamiento largo, viene Martín Baldien para poner en el pecho, está más rápido también Navarro, que como digo, sigue siendo una auténtica pesadilla. Se marcha Navarro con mucha calidad, se marcha de Martín Baldien, madre mía lo que ha hecho.
So Navarro starts to move away very, very skillfully now. Let's see what Real Sociedad does. It was too narrow though, so loses the ball, but the ball still goes to them. In any case, these kind of moves are what gets the crowd going as well. And what a move from him, from Navarro, once again. One of the most prominent players in the match today. And of course, when you do have a player like this and all his moves are working, there's not much you can do against them, is there?
Vamos a ver, ahí está el saque de banda, Carlos Fernández que deja que sea algún compañero suyo y ahí va a venir el cambio.
So Carlos Fernandez there allowing the ball to go out because and there we go, the goal scorer of the match, Navarro, definitely the main character of the match so far in these 69 minutes, exits the pitch as Take Kubo comes on. So we know what Take Kubo is like as a player, of course.
aquí salvació més que merescuda.
And of course, Navarro has done an excellent match, so more than deserved ovation for him.
De Bataglia, la falta que la pita el colegiado. Y primer balón que provoca, primera falta que provoca ataque cubo.
And first foul provoked by Takekubo now, which makes the ball go directly to them.
Quien no calienta es Muriqui, ¿eh? De momento no lo guardamos como arma secreta.
And at the moment, Murishi is a player that we're seeing is not warming up.
Tengo pálpito, Dani. Yo no lo quería decir, pero tengo pálpito.
De prórroga.
Sí.
30 minutos más de frío, pero bueno, lo aguantaremos.
However, Victoria is saying that she's got a funny feeling that we are going to go to extra time today. But as Danny says, that would mean 30 minutes more of very, very cold weather. Martin Valgent there sends it to a throw-in for Mallorca. It was dangerous, but luckily it worked.
Que la va a poner en saque de banda, el movimiento de Aye Muñoz.
Tot el que sigui passar està bé, no? Independentment de com sigui.
Sí, senyor.
Como sea.
No me lo recuerden de fred, això no hay dubte. Saque de puerta para el Mallorca. No, però ara fora broma el xisco.
Back to the start for Mallorca, and De Grief has the ball.
Sí, no, està clar. Està clar, el Mallorca pot competir contra qualsevol rival, evidentment jugam contra un molt bon equip, però el Mallorca ha reaccionat, ha tingut més protagonisme en aquesta segona part i pot passar qualsevol cosa.
Ha provocado la falta Don Prats, falta ahí en el círculo.
Don Prats provoking the with a very good tackle there, provoking a foul in the middle circle.
Nunca sabes dónde puede estar el tanto de tu equipo. Vamos a ver, ahí está, la pone Kangin Lee buscando la cabeza de un compañero.
Kangin Lee puts the ball in there looking for a header and it falls to Gaya.
Consigue sacar un saque de banda. Se va hacia allí rápidamente Gio, no tiene el Mallorca tiempo que perder.
Gio Gonzalez takes the ball quickly. Of course, he has no time to lose.
Està molt segur defensivament i després en aquesta acció traiem bon recurs.
Recupera la pelota al Mallorca, Gio que la pone para José Manuel Copete, viene a recibir.
So Gio Gonzalez there passing to Copete over to Kangin Lee.
El movimiento en el otro costado de Gio, la ventaja para Muñoz, Gio que pone la cabeza, la puede ganar.
Advantage for Gio. Can he win the battle there? Bit of indecision there for Ramiro. He was nearly there. It did look like it wasn't going to be dangerous, but a header from Gio meant that they were very, very near to creating a lot of damage. And Mallorca going to make a double change now. Amath Ndiaye and Dani Rodriguez going to come on. And it is true that this kind of change has been very effective in the past. And now that we've got just 17 minutes left, this could be exactly what Mallorca needs. We're going to see Martin Valgent now.
A Valgent ahora le hacen una falta a Carlos Fernández, no le ha pasado nada, pero bueno, imagínate que se hubiera lesionado. En fin, se retira Antonio Sánchez, se retira también Ángel Rodríguez al ruedo.
So Antonio Sanchez and Ángel Rodríguez exit as Dani Rodriguez and Amath Ndiaye. But of course, we would love to see a goal from anybody right now. But for an Amath goal, that would be amazing, especially an Amath goal here against Real Sociedad that doesn't get annulled.
Estamos diciendo, lo ha dicho Victoria Pellicer, el 74, va a marcar Amath Ndiaye. ¿Cómo me gustaría que marcara Amath Ndiaye? Lo ha dicho. Ahí está.
But we are going to write that down. Minute 74, Victoria saying that she would love to see an Amath goal.
Tenim més referències a dalt i mos estem estirant. Al final hem d'anar més per partit i ara Real s'han canviat un poc els papers, és la Real que està anant darrere la pilota.
Now it does look like the roles have switched though, and it does seem like Real Sociedad are the team that are having to chase after the ball. COPA makes a mistake there in the pass. Gio Gonzalez also getting a bit annoyed on the other side as well. It's a throw-in for them. Real Sociedad, of course, we've seen how much Mallorca have improved recently, have no rush whatsoever now. Of course, they're going to start to waste time as much as they can. And it's now going to be Grafe that does the long pass. There's another Mallorca player warming up. I'm just going to tell you who it is once it comes into better view. It could be Maffeo, actually. Ball goes over to Amath. Can he cause some damage there? He's in front of the goal-scoring area. Elizondo's there defending. There's the battle. Middle pass, and there is the corner that Amath Ndiaye has provoked. Victoria said it. She called it, and he's starting to shine. Kangin Lee over to the corner, and COPA and Valgent start to appear. Abdon as well. Renier shoots. A shoot in 2 times. Ramiro saves it. Another opportunity for us though. Another shot from Clement Grenier. And that is a shame that it was off target because it was very well shot. Battle now for Real Sociedad. Very good work from Gaia. And a shot from them, which unfortunately ends up very easily in Dominic Grafe's hands. And that is Maffeo that is going to come on for Mallorca now. He did confuse us for a little bit there because he's dyed his hair quite dark once again. But yes, that is undeniably him. There's a yellow card for the Real Sociedad midfielder Lenormand. And there we go. Gaia is going to be coming off as Pablo Maffeo comes on. Yeah, so I called that once again. So I'm thinking now that I deserve to get the title of coach for next season at the least. So we're on 3 defenders: Gio, Valgent, and COPA, and Kangin Lee and Pablo Maffeo as wingers. I mean, it's not a bad system at all. Munoz on the low pass shoots, and Grief manages to save, but it's going to be a corner. Yes, he managed to save there, but couldn't stop the corner.
Sí, no, està clar que hem tingut les nostres opcions i ara estem molt ficats dins el partit.
Ball there in the goal scoring area. Battaglia sends it, but it's offside. And the ball's going to go to Mallorca. So at 10 minutes away from full time now, I'm a bag of nerves, says Victoria. But with how cold I'm feeling, unfortunately, I can't feel anything remotely similar to nerves.
Ellos evidentemente ya no tienen ninguna prisa en poner el balón en movimiento. Lo que yo te decía, Chisco, que este ya estaba lleno.
Of course, Real Sociedad now taking their time, as we were saying.
I que pot empatar el partit.
Sí, no, està clar, estem molt ficats dins el partit I saben que la primera part ha estat seva, però...
Yes, of course, both teams incredibly involved in the match, and they know exactly how to try and create some damage. And Mallorca are definitely having some more protagonism now. The referee seems to be saying to one of the players that he's grazed him behind. In the meantime, Gio takes the ball, passes to Martin Valgen. Amath trying to break the offside position there. Takecubo steals, but Mallorca steals it back. Gio Gonzalez and Grenier. Pacheco crosses over in front of Amath's presence. 9 minutes now, still time. Just one goal is what we need to equalise and take it to extra time. Gio and Battaglia fall over to Abdon. Shame the foul there from Battaglia. Foul and tackle on Takecubo, which results in a yellow card for Grenier, which seems pretty harsh. And the referee seems to be making a gesture to indicate that he will be adding some more minutes to extra time. Paul Llorente, one of our coaches there, complaining with the referee about the time-wasting tactics, and it seems like there will be a decent chunk of extra time added. So Amath and Diaye, they're going down to the ground and provoking another foul. So at least there is some action happening still. So short pass from COPA over to Martin Valgent. Mallorca playing with their goalkeeper. Playing with Takecubo. First touches. Battaglia breaks away. Valgent's head there trying to defend against Real Sociedad now. Takecubo is there, but he knows he's offside. Valgent defends once again, bit of a messy move now. And the move ends up in Graves' hands and sends the ball all the way up to Kangin Lee. Playing with Dani Rodriguez. It's a foul against our players, so the ball goes to us. So we clearly don't have enough balls here, as COPA has to go right over to the lines to get a ball to take this throw in. So Mallorca deserving an equaliser now. Let's see if he can manage it. Looking for Battaglia there. He is there. He's in the middle. But Grenier gets a header in there. Ball over to Maffeo, who sends it back into the centre. Rejected by the defence. Another header from Valgent, but Amath is not there in time. And now Real Sociedad. There's a foul there. Gio passes over to Abdon Prats, who combs it over to Battaglia once again. Back to Amath Ndiaye. And very unfortunately, he lost the ball there. Takecubo sends himself down the pitch with the ball. And it's clear in the stadium. Everybody can notice it. Everybody can breathe it. Mallorca are very close to equalising. And as we can see, Mallorca are going to give absolutely everything right until the end now. As that Mallorca have the ball with Gio Gonzalez and Grenier. The ball is touched by one of the defenders. Real Sociedad recover the ball over to Fernandez, who tries to break away quickly, but he's gone down a one-way street there. Recovered by Mallorca with Grenier, who turns around a 360 from him. Got to be careful with approaching defenders. Back to Grief. And the clock is ticking very quickly for Mallorca, very slowly for Real Sociedad, I'm sure. Canguin Leo to Dani Rodriguez. He passes this to Martin Valgent. Gio Gonzalez in possession now. Long pass from him. Real Sociedad recover the ball. Pacheco seems to have hurt himself a little bit, but no, he just simply loses the ball there. Valgent passes to COPA now. Over to Canguin Lee. Amath Ndiaye, and the ball falls to Abdon Prats. Very, very messy though, and they steal it from him in the end. Back to Marino, and Real Sociedad asks for a foul from Valgent. And yes, there goes the whistle for that foul over Oyarzabal.
Porque el Mallorca, Xisco, ara sí que està espitjant i de quina manera. Sí, ara és que m'hi hem d'espitjar, queden pocs minuts i d'intentar tenir totes les accions possibles i seguir amb aquesta dinàmica de jugar a camp contrari, d'acostar molts a la àrea per intentar tenir qualque opció.
A ver, una más tendremos.
Sí, no. Yo creo que varias, Minuto 86 y medio. Uf, todavía queda partido, señores.
So there's still time ahead. There's still a way to go.
Marín que la pone a la derecha, progresa por este costado Elustondo. Juega ataque.
Elustondo progressing on the wings over to Zubimendi, but Mallorca recover the ball, but Real Sociedad take it back, looking for the end line, and it's going to be a corner. Elustondo joins the fight on this side. It's a corner for Real Sociedad. Takekubo is going to take it. Anoeta Stadium still putting the pressure on, knowing that this is the support their team needs to go through to the quarterfinals of the King's Cup. Takekubo there. Grave couldn't punch it out, but luckily nobody rebounded it. Mallorca in possession with Gio and Grenier. Back to Dani Rodriguez. And there's that. Unfortunately, that corner from Takekubo did get more and more dangerous as it approached the goal. Grafe telling his players, move up the pitch. He's going to do a long pass. Race from Canguin Lee there. Dangerous one from him. Let's see who's going to keep the ball. Dani Rodriguez appears. And the foul could go to Battaglia.
O sea que tenéis que sacarlo un poquito más para atrás, pero claro, no tiene ninguna prisa la Real. 88 y medio, minuto y medio para el 90, pendientes también del tiempo añadido.
So 88.5 minutes gone, just a minute and a half till full time.
Toca pilota i també quan cau també toca un poc en el contrari. No sé quina falta ha pitat de les dues, però havien de tallar-se contra.
Ahora sacan el marcador, estoy viendo.
Sí, vamos a ver qué añaden. Ahí está.
6, mínimo.
So let's see how much time is added of extra in the end.
Recupera la
Victoria predicts minimum 6 minutes. Let's see. Ball over to Takekubo. Now he's looking for the long line. Grave punches it out and Battaglia helps to bring it back out. Kangi leads a long pass to Abdon Prats, but Lenormand is there before him. Amatindaya tries to steal but fails. Marine gets the first touch over to Takekubo, who of course is fresh and feeling energized on his fresh legs in this as he came on in the second half. And we are now on extra time. Nobody moving here, of course. And yes, it does seem that there was a yellow card for Copete there.
Los nervios a flor de piel en este minuto ya de partido, momentos decisivos. Marín que juega para Iyarra.
Marine in possession, and Mallorca recover. Ball goes to Mallorca in any case. Valgent combs the ball there. Abdon Prats isn't there in time. Grenier recovers. He slips out of his grasp. Grenier is annoyed and he gets fouled. Maffeo tells the Real Sociedad player to get up off the floor, and the referee tells Maffeo to stay out of the situation. Abdon Prats tells Carlos to get up, and the ball is for them anyway, so let's see if they will put it into movement soon.
Estem de partit i si veu que els contraris estan perdent ells, doncs és ell que ha d'afegir, a damunt s'ha afegit. No hem d'entrar en polèmiques, no mos convé.
Of course, it would be wise for the team to stay out of controversy now. However, we still do have a couple of minutes here. Let's see if Pablo Maffeo can put it into the goal scoring area. Danny is there, over to Grenier. A bit messy. Grenier is not able to either. And it's a throw-in for Mallorca, just as we come up to the 93rd minute. Still 3 ahead. Ball for Martin Valgent. Gio brings it in. Takekubo rejects the ball. Pablo Maffeo ball inside the goal scoring area. Over to Grenier. Back to Copete. Trying to steal the ball from Takekubo. Valgent once again playing with Gio. He's going to send it over to Abdon Prats. Carlos Fernandez isn't there in time, so the ball goes to Mallorca. Gio there, and it's a throw-in for him. And it's going to have to be Amat Ndiaye who takes this throw-in. Just 94 minutes on the clock now. Real Sociedad takes a throw in now. And the referee just made a gesture with the number 2. It could have meant that there's just 2 minutes left, or it could have meant that there are 2 extra minutes added, which wouldn't be unfair at all. Asking for handball. The ball goes over to Amath in the meantime. Very messy. No foul there from Maffeo. Ball goes over to Abdon Prats. The action continues. And Dani Rodriguez has been fouled, and that is a dangerous and very clear one. It's far away from the goal, but that's still a free kick, and he's telling Grenier to go up to the rebound. And Grafe is going to come up to try and put this into the goal as well. Of course, the perfect ending would be for Grafe to score now, but Grafe is there to try and head it in orange. Kang In Lee there, looking for Grafe, who heads. COPETE. Mallorca players are complaining that he's been grabbed. The referee doesn't whistle anything. If there's anything there, VAR, of course, will see that. The referee is saying there was nothing wrong there. And there he goes, final whistle. So nothing added in the end. So over to you, Victoria. That's the end of the match, and we're going to go and look for some players to speak to. So it was a very cold end to the match, I think. Very abrupt. Yes, I think we all expected a little bit more extra time added because of the time-wasting tactics carried out by the players. You can see they're speaking to the referee now because he's complaining from a shove that he'd had. Yes, we were very tense. But I think that definitely was a bit of a shock for us. Yes, I don't think anybody expected the whistle to go, the final whistle to go at that precise moment. I think we were all thinking that we could have had another chance. They definitely dominated in the second half, and they had more goal-scoring opportunities. The second half was definitely more us than them, but it's really in fact. It also reminded me of the Real Sociedad match that we had in the league, where the first half was all them, but in the second half we really did put on a good performance and found many goal-scoring opportunities. So inevitably you do, our takeaway is that image of Mallorca in the second half where they were much more intense. But we definitely saw a change in revs in Mallorca in the second half.
Després hem canviat el dibuix, hem tornat a canviar, hem fet coses diferents. El Mallorca ha estat dominador a la segona part, però no m'ho ha bastat.
Unfortunately, despite our best efforts in the second half, it just wasn't enough. And also, the first changes actually arrived only in the 56th minute. So it's not like the goal arrived, and as soon as that happened, we opted for the changes. It is a shame though, because of course the King's Cup is always an exciting tournament to be a part of, and but it's always a shame to the time when you have to exit, and we were playing away. Of course, there's always a bit of added difficulty. We knew we were up against a very, very good team, and also they were playing at home. The context, I don't think, was the ideal one for Mallorca. The second half was unquestionably ours, but it just wasn't enough in that instance. Of course, we also understand that Javier Aguirre wanted to minimize certain players for Friday's match. We didn't see Maurici today or Galareta. Raillo, the captain, wasn't on either. So it's clear that he definitely did try and save some of the players today. At the end of the day, as a player, you've got to look at the context from a wider perspective. And you do have to look at the rest of the matches that you've got. They're two very difficult ones. To bring out the best 11 to get through to the next round of the King's Cup, and then the best 11 to do very good to very well in the league. Because of course, all tournaments are extremely important. And you have to play with everything that you've got. And there are some players sometimes that train very, very well in their day-to-day, and that when they get the opportunity, there are players that play for many, many minutes, but they deserve it because every day when they train, they earn their position on the pitch.
Que tots els jugadors tinguin minuts perquè en el dia a dia se mostren, però on realment se mostren és esa competició.
Me gustaría preguntarte especialmente, porque sé que lo conoces bien, es Gallá, que también juega con el filial a algunos partidos. ¿Cómo lo has visto? Si te ha sorprendido, si es en la línea que es lo que tú estás acostumbrado a verlo.
Ha fet un partit Gallà que està molt solvent, que és el que se li demana.
In my opinion, Gallá did a great match today. He was very attentive in defense. I thought his decisions were correct. He had really top-level players in front of him, and a very difficult stadium to play into.
I ha complit perfectament. Nosaltres, evidentment, quan juguen nosaltres, dona un nivell molt alt i sempre és un jugador.
For us, every time he plays, it's at a very high level, and he's a really dependable player as well.
I en el final és un jugador que a una posició on la joventut, entre cometes, no, a priori no és tan fàcil, no?
No ayuda a ser...
No ayuda, però realment en Gallà és un jugador intel·ligent.
But Gallá seems to be a very smart player.
És un jugador sub-23, és un jugador que...
He's still an under 23.
Té molt de futur, té tot per fer, per tant...
He's clearly got a bright future ahead of him and still got everything to play for in his career.
Que pot tenir minuts amb el primer equip i avui en un context difícil.
And he's demonstrated that he deserves to be on the first team. Of course, it's not even the fact that you're playing at this level of the King's Cup. It's who you're playing against as well and where you're playing, because that opportunity, I mean, you don't take it in a relaxed sense, but maybe in, for me, it would already make me nervous. But let's go to Javier Aguirre, who's with our colleague Danny. So a match of two halves today, shall we say? Yes, you're right. We definitely basically gave away half an hour to the other team. We were too sluggish, too careful, no intensity, kind of just unarticulated. And of course, a situation like that in a King's Cup, it's normal that Real Sociedad beats you. And it was a good over 20 minutes that were an absolute gift, and we can't afford to do that. It is football at the end of the day. You know, Real Sociedad are a Champions League favourite. We knew it was going to be difficult, but we definitely still shouldn't have given away the match like that. Also, we made 8 changes in comparison to Osasuna, the Osasuna match the other day. So, of course, it is bittersweet, but we brought out the players that we had today. So, an important match on Friday. Yes, it's one of those where we have to play at home, we have to play better, we've got to be thinking about the 3 points all the time and bring that league dynamic back again. So Javier Aguirre's words there, the Mallorca coach.
Pues Chisco, un poco en la línea de lo que hablábamos, de que los primeros 20 minutos el resultado incluso por parte de la Real era corto, que podía haber caído incluso algún gol más de su lado, y después que la
So, of course, we could have had several more. We're here with Martin Valgent first. So the team weren't good in the first half, and then they solved a lot of things in the second half.
Sí, creo que era así, las sensaciones desde campo eran estas, pero también
Yes, the feeling from the pitch was exactly that. But they have a really, really wide lineup. I don't want to say that we were asleep in the first half, but it certainly seemed that way at certain points. I think the second half was very positive for the team. I think we got back together, and we definitely put the pressure on. So the King's Cup is over for us now, but I think we put on a big fight in every single match, and I'm really proud of the team. So hitting the post at certain points, of course, really frustrating. Of course, I mean, playing against Real Sociedad, of course, you can encounter the fact that the team is better than yours. We've got to focus on the dynamic that we had in the second half. So the match on Friday is up against a team which is gaining more and more points recently. So we've got to rest now, recover, and we're going for a challenge on Friday. The words of Martin Valgent there, so don't go anywhere because we will be bringing COPETE on. So you played in several different positions today and were battling constantly against the different Real Sociedad players.
Sí, yo creo que bueno, en primera parte es verdad que nos falta entrar un poquito mejor en el partido, nos ha afectado un poquito el gol tan rápido y bueno, creo que nos faltaba pues eso, un plus.
Yes, of course, I think when they scored so quickly, we needed to react more quickly. And then we corrected all those mistakes in the second half and played pretty well. We were close to equalizing, but you know, when you're not effective in the goal scoring area, this is what happens. But now it's all about keeping our heads held high.
en Pamplona, la Copa que evidentemente es otra competición.
So an intense week now. You've still got that match in Pamplona.
Ahora ya no va a parar hasta el final de temporada.
So there's no rest for the wicked, right?
Tenemos mucho partido, pero bueno, tenemos que estar preparados para eso.
Yeah, lots of matches ahead, but we're prepared for exactly that.
Y bueno, y a tope para el viernes.
Viernes que es un partido
And we've got to be on fire for Friday.
Copa, que es una pena, pero que sabíamos que con un rival así complicado era difícil, pero el Celta, ¿no? Un rival en el que está más o menos en la misma posición que
So
nosotros.
Celta de Vigo on Friday, which are more or less in the same position as us in the league at the moment.
Bueno, como bien dice, bueno, puede ser un rival directo de nosotros que tiene grandes futbolistas que también juega muy bien.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those direct rivals for us, and they play really good football. It's going to be a tough match. We're going to bring out all our weapons. We're playing at home. So, hopefully you can rest and recover now. Thank you very much.
Compareciendo Victoria, Javier Aguirre, así que bueno, pues si queréis tenemos esta conexión, vamos a la rueda de prensa y escuchamos algo. El míster aquí hemos tenido aquí en directo.
So we will be going to Javier Aguirre's press conference very soon.
Nos pincharán ya la rueda de prensa del míster, pero bueno, se han manifestado todos en la misma línea. Bueno, me miran mis compañeros.
So everybody speaking along the same lines.
Todos en la misma línea. He visto a Copete especialmente serio.
So Copete definitely seemed very, very serious today in his words.
Y también es un jugador junto al Balín que el viernes al 100% van a ser titulares.
And there are also players that will definitely be in the starting lineup on Friday.
Son muy parecidos entre ellos y el carácter que se enfadan, es decir, Copete lo ves y
and they're also quite similar physically and also in personality.
Se enfadaba.
Sí, no, i en el final del partit era que més entre cometes...
Ha ido al árbitro a decirle, oye...
Sí.
And yes, Copete was definitely the player today that went up more times to the referee to ask for a change.
También ha sido honesto, dicho gracias a Dios de que existe, no nos ha caído ninguno más.
Sí, és que com havia sortit la Real...
Well, and also, as Javier Aguirre was saying as well, thank goodness that we didn't get any more yellow cards given to us today. I mean, I think the team recovered from those kind of setbacks very well. But when the goal came, we didn't react as well as we should have. But however, many players played today.
Exacte, molt de jugadors, són minuts que sumes a una competició molt bona.
So lots of players had their chance today. They're all minutes to go on your count, on your CD.
Molt complet, molt solvent i mos hem de quedar en lo
It was
positiu.
a very thorough match.
Mos hem topat amb un context difícil, molt difícil per...
It was a difficult context, a very difficult one in fact.
Perquè ara també està en un gran estat de forma. El Mallorca li ha costat el inici, la segona part està millor.
I think we really struggled at the end.
También destacaba Martín lo de descansar y volver a casa. Recordar que el Mallorca lleva desde el viernes que se fue para Pamplona.
So Mallorca have been in this area of Spain for the last couple of days. Since Saturday, they came over to San Sebastian to train. So yeah, they haven't been home since Friday.
Volvimos a tenerlo para el día del Sadar, que acompañó a Dani en Pamplona. Decía que como en casa no se descansa en ningún sitio. Porque yo le decía, mira, qué bien.
And like our guest commentator last week was saying, though, it is true that there's no place like home if what you're looking for is to rest.
Como se descansa en casa, no se descansa en hotel. Eso decía Dani.
Sí. Lo millor és un tema mental i que estàs acostumat a unes
coses. Of course, it might be a mental thing, but it is true that when you get home, like home, is when you actually sit down and rest.
Que nos quitaremos este sabor agridulce, por decirlo de algún modo, el viernes. Eso sí, ya será en el estadio.
So we will recover from this bittersweet feeling on Friday in Sonmosh, which is on a San Sebastian. So no excuses not to make your way down to the stadium. We're going to end the program here.
los que nos han acompañado durante esta retransmisión y recuerden.
Thank everybody that has been watching the program today. And remember, Friday, 9 p.m, Real Mallorca versus Celta de Vigo.